Okay, we're live. It's really live now.
Am I even on camera? I'm not.
No, I'll turn it to you when you're talking. Don't
I'd
worry.
rather not be on camera. If that's possible. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say we need to talk about that a little bit earlier. This is good. This is good.
I knew we left something out of that checklist.
All right. This
is being recorded.
We're so late. Yeah, it's
Late.
being recorded.
We're early. It's supposed to start tomorrow at 3.
We're like
Good point.
we're like
You got me there.
20 hours early.
I can't disagree with that. All right. Let me get the goddamn Pokemon.
Easy.
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 726, I think. The Toracat Podcast.
Turtle cat?
Toracat.
Oh, so
The Toracat.
Oh.
The Toracat Podcast.
Oh.
Do you want to know more? You're a Pokemon man.
I am.
You're a
Yes.
Pokemon.
I am.
You're
I
more about it.
Pokemon.
Toracat, blah, 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 blah. It evolves from Litten, which we talked about last week, and it evolves into. Listen to next week's show.
With Litten, but
Did you?
remember that
What
one.
was that? Sun and Moon? Did you play
That
Sun
was
and Moon?
Yeah,
Then
and
you did.
I started with Litten.
Litten was your starter?
I think so.
Me too. Good choice.
Let's hang out.
Right
great
now.
conversation, guys. right now.
Toracat is a quad.
You know, how much does he weigh? That's
Yeah,
really
let's
what.
do
That's
that.
really
I was
what the
gonna say,
fans
my
want to
brain's
know.
not here. We'll have
Measurements,
to do
please.
some- He is 2 feet
A
tall.
busty 2-foot kitty.
He's 2 feet tall. All right, let's play Price is Right rules. How heavy
Great.
is he?
Oh, half a stone.
$1.
Thank you, Price is Right rules. How much does this cat thing weigh?
I have no idea.
You won't even guess.
A bushel of bananas?
You know.
Probably
weighs-
closest.
Half a
How much
bush?
does like a bunch of bananas weigh?
A bunch.
Your
Your typical supermarket bunch.
I get that every week, so I'd say a bunch of 8 is like
It's like
pound and a half.
$1.
And what's in a bushel?
What's about $1?
A bunch.
One bunch is a bushel. It weighs 55 pounds. So no,
What?
I'm
No,
sorry.
I don't
That
think
would
so.
have
Not
been
from
way
that
under.
image.
And no idea who won.
Oh, you're disagreeing. You're disagreeing with this, not
Vitamin-
with your answer.
Vitamin G wins $1. I'm
No,
pretty
my
sure that's how
answer
the
is
game
correct.
works.
Yeah, what
Just
did you
say
guess?
what you wanna
Oh,
win.
you said half a
Half a
stone, so
stone.
no, you're over.
What's half a stone?
I said $1.
Really
You said
knew what a
$1,
stone
so you
was.
win with the $1 rule. Yeah,
Nailed it.
60 pounds?
congratulations.
Kilos?
16 stone? Bush?
Oh, trimmed it yesterday.
16 stone bush.
Yeah. It's the name of
The
the album.
The album.
Oh.
Everything's and everything.
Yeah,
For a
everything.
second there, I was like, which one is the band? And then I realized, yes, it's Bush. Like I've never heard of that before.
Bush. Bush.
That's going to sound real nice now with these microphones.
Sorry.
No, I meant it.
Oh.
Bush.
Wait, yeah, so a stone is 14 pounds. It's a half a stone, it's 7
Oh,
pounds.
7 pounds. So,
Get
so
outta
then
here.
he wins.
Oh.
Well, how much does $1 weigh?
No, well, not very much.
What about a bunch of bananas?
I think about 15
A
pounds.
dollar certainly
winner.
weighs
What's
less.
Stone is a unit.
What's 14
is a
times
unit they
16?
use.
That's
An absolute unit.
like a house.
All right. As everybody can already tell, the podcast started way late,
got
and
some
I randomly
vagrants from the
started it,
street.
so I apologize. It's just I'm busy tomorrow, and we have not completely random, but people that aren't usually here. But thank you to everybody that did show up for today's podcast. We have Vitamin G.
Yeah.
We have R-Type.
So
and
check
we
in the
have-
mail.
I don't remember what the hell we called you. Or you just want to go by your name, or you
A bunch of bananas.
bunch?
Bunch of
So just go with bananas.
Bob.
Bob, bunch of bananas.
Bob. Bobby Banana.
Your name's Bob.
Bobby
That's it.
Bananas.
Bobby Banana. Oh, every weird podcast name that I love has come up in the span of like just 30 seconds. People are like, I don't know, call me, and it's great. So
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bob is amazing.
Nailed it.
Bob. Bunch of bananas.
Thanks for joining us, Bob. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you to Sean Ader and Matthew and Rakia and Brad and Philip and Sarah and Matt and Robbing and Fat Mish.
Are those all people you
Fat
can
Mish.
see?
Isn't that mush?
'Cause I can't.
As
They're
in
right here.
give him
Oh.
the.
That you can see. Because I thought it was just the 4 of them.
They're all here. I see them all.
All right.
Also, I want to say a very big thank you to our patrons on Patreon. We're like at 115 patrons. I keep wanting to say Patreons, but that's not it. So thank you very much. I was talking with the Patreon group about how it's important to me to thank them on the podcast, but they don't want me to run through 115 names every episode. So I'm just going to like randomly pick out a name that I'll throw out there some way, sometime during the podcast. Also, if you join the Patreon, we're going to start a new thing. We'll do a Patreon submitted question. No, we're not stopping the other questions. So anybody can still submit a question, even if you're not part of the Patreon, and we're going to do those too. But Patreon question, obviously there's a smaller group to pick from, and we'll do one of those each episode. So we're going to start that next week because we don't have a question. But Patreon information is it's on my Twitter profile at the top. It's pinned, or it's on GoNintendo, or it's in this YouTube description later on. It's $1 for everything. That's it. We're not doing tiers. We're not doing stuff that's locked out to be. I mean,
$1.
I just want to
just like I said.
Yes. I want to stress that I will again. I'm going to say this all the time. There you go. You could join. That gets you a month. I want to say that we'll never block news, features, reviews, interviews, any of that stuff on GoNintendo behind the Patreon. GoNintendo continues as normal, 100%. I will never make you pay for that stuff because you shouldn't pay for it. The Patreon stuff is because people have been asking about it, and after 5 years of deliberating, I started it. So just $1 to throw towards the site to support us. But we're doing fun stuff over there too. We're talking about comic books and what the hell else do we do? We're going to do the podcast stuff. God, I can't remember. I've written so much already and I forget. But we're just doing stupid stuff over there. But don't feel any need to support it if you don't want to. You're not going to miss out on. I'm not blocking content. So anything you get over there will be like me talking about, I don't know, wrestling, anime, comic books, whatever the hell else. So that's that. Thank you to the patrons who've joined so far. Who do you watch Stranger Things? I wanted to ask you that.
I'm 3.5 episodes in
To the third season.
to the third season.
Ooh, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but man, this new season is. Do you like it so far?
I do.
It gets so good.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week because Stranger Things 3, the game, is on Switch, and it came out the same day the new season came out, which was the 4th of July. And they said the game basically follows what happens in the show. So I was like, oh, I can't play the game. I don't want to spoil it. So I watched the season like in 2 days. I blew through it because I had to review the game. But man, the show is so good. Like, did you like the second season?
From what I remember, because I watched it really quickly, and then it's been like 2 years. So
Yeah.
I remember liking it. I didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
Could I chime in?
I mean, you don't need to
Get out
say
of
that,
here.
but yeah,
No.
this show's all about interruptions. Go right ahead.
No, you may not.
Go right ahead, Bob.
Okay, so I watched the trailer for season 3.
Can I chime
yes,
in here?
Where? Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna guess you watched 10 minutes of one episode and that's it.
No, I watched season 3, the trailer.
Okay.
I was intrigued. I liked it.
I
give it.
I have heard of this. Yeah.
Thumbs up.
People
Yeah.
are really talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not
I
caught
think-
up. So.
Yeah. Stranger Things 3, the show, that's great. But have you caught the trailer?
Have
yet?
you?
Mhm. Yeah, I watched the whole season.
Not,
Not,
a
the
lot
trailer.
of people
though.
have.
You should watch the trailer.
Brad Ward says I literally didn't move for 7 hours watching it. I was hooked. I did it over the course of 2 days. So I'll give you 4-hour blocks, but not a 7-hour block.
Are we allowed to
Stay
respond
still
to
for
this?
7 hours.
Yeah,
when I'm
go ahead.
sleeping.
I like the guy that said he wants to give the $1 to me. By the way, whoever said that or lady.
It says we want Bob in the comments.
All right.
Bob is a name of a Stranger Things character.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Who was?
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Can I spoil something in season 2?
Absolutely. All of
Pretty
it.
late.
Yep.
Gratuitously.
Yeah, go ahead. It's season 2. It's season 2.
Season
You're
2.
right.
That's 2 years from ago.
Wait, what's your name on
Gratuitously
this?
killed.
What's your
Vitamin
handle?
J.
In my opinion,
What vitamin J?
Vitamin G.
Vitamin
What did
G.
you say? I'm listening.
gratuitously killed.
Who, Bob?
Yeah.
Huh.
Played by what's his name? Sean Astin.
Rudy.
Rudy. He was fantastic,
I didn't
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
he was perfect.
but they really took him out. They really did him dirty
And to what end?
to a bloody end. Yes.
Well, yes, I know. Literally, yes.
He did not want to be on the show anymore.
No.
This is news to me. I didn't watch season 2
It was a
or
contract.
I didn't watch the trailer
Contract
either.
dispute. They killed him.
Did you watch?
Yeah, I
Actual
watched the
Stranger
first 4
Things.
episodes of season Uno.
Oh, okay. What happened?
In
Life.
Espanol?
That's
Yeah,
it.
like they found there's something in the pond. and
No,
it was
no,
a-
I don't mean what happened in the show. I saw the show. I mean, what made you
Strange
stop?
things happened. There was
I
a
think
girl
that's
with
the
no
movie
hair.
It.
Yeah,
I
that
checked
clown-
out, man.
that clown
I
just
had other
was
stuff to
annoying,
do.
yeah.
I was just, you know.
What is
Evil
the last
clown,
show
Tim Curry.
you watched?
That
Like
show with Tim
actually
Curry,
watched?
It?
All the way through?
Yeah.
That's complete?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Did you complete?
I may.
To completion. What show have you watched?
To
Did you watch
completion.
completion?
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay. Yeah, because every time I hear you talk about a show, it's like you watch one or two episodes or part of one episode, and you're like, I haven't seen any more. That's it.
Hey,
Yeah.
raw meat. I gotta
But
say,
you're a dad, and you're a dad, and you're a dad. It happens.
Yeah.
Dad stuff. Dad life.
I mean, the show I want to
Thank
finish
you,
is
Fat Mish. I appreciate that. He says, sounds real good.
Twin Peaks. Hey, Fat Mish. Fat Mish.
All right. I just want to talk about Stranger Things real quick because I was saying to him,
weren't you
there's
just?
an episode season. It's the 6th episode, and it's the last like 5 minutes of that episode.
Mm.
music question.
Mm.
The music, the acting, the way it's shot, amazing. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It
I
was so
love
good.
the music in this show.
Yeah, I've been listening to
Yeah, the
the
music was good. Too.
like the original soundtrack while I'm working. It's phenomenal. I have the name of the band written down because that's a band that does the soundtrack for them, but they have their own albums and
The
everything.
B-52s.
So
Right?
that's it. Yeah.
Stranger Things, baby.
Watch out, Bob.
Mind Flayer, yeah.
Are they still around? Are all those
I
people
think
alive?
they are.
Yeah, why not?
I think they just like. I think they played
Yeah.
the Sands recently.
Namekian Clown. Yes, you're right.
They
People in
switched to retro music.
people in the chat are different today because we're doing it Friday at a random time, so we get different crowds all the time. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So if you didn't know, if you're still waiting to watch Stranger Things, the 3rd season,
Just
don't
skip-
play the game because the
skip to
game will
season
spoil
6.
it for you.
Skip to episode 6,
Skip
and then don't watch the rest.
Skip to season 6.
We are
pretty
sponsored
sure-
by the competitors of Stranger Things.
I'm pretty sure the Duffer Brothers said they're going to do 5 seasons at most. So the person waiting for season 6 is going to have a real rough wait.
Yeah, well, they can prepay at this site directly to me.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Zidane. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Autumnal Blake and Lanquin. I appreciate you guys
Autumnal
joining
Blake, he sounds sad.
in. Autumnal Blake is. You know what? There's your patron for today, Autumnal Blake. He's a patron on Patreon. Thank you, Autumnal Blake.
I
You're the
love
special
how you
thank
say
for
this
today.
name.
Autumnal Blake.
Autumnal Blake.
I either
Mr.
say
Blank.
everybody's names very weirdly or very wrongly. So we're going with just weird on that. one.
Wrongly.
There's one guy whose name is the Namekian Clown, but I used to say the Namekian Clown. The Namekian Clown is from something else, and I had no idea. And he willingly let it happen for like 30 episodes because he thought it was
Yeah,
funny.
if you don't-
He's not wrong.
if you
It
don't-
was funny.
If you don't
but-
say it in the beginning, you're stuck for a while.
yeah. Like there's one guy's, I don't know how to say his real name because it's Gaelic. So I just
Oh.
call him Shillelagh. It starts with an S, and that's as much as you're going to get from me.
Mm.
That's all I can do. But
Mm.
a nickname's more meaningful than your real name, right?
I think so.
That's like
right, Bob?
Like, hey,
That's like,
stupid.
I don't know. I like what Matt Fish just said. He's not really Fat Mish. He's Matt. That's
Yeah, I that's why I was laughing when I said the name because I
Mm.
knew he's usually the other way around.
Oh.
Hi, Gold Bolt. It's okay. Thanks for joining us. We're just happy you made it. Let's do some news. And yes, you can interrupt on the news about anything you want.
I
Can I chime in?
Can I chime in?
Can I chime in? We need like a
Yeah, is there a
oh,
chime
there's
around
no
here?
soundboard again this week, guys, because
Ah.
Mom Brain took the iPad with her to Europe.
Europe.
But we will in 2 weeks' time have the soundboard patched in through the mixer, so you're going to hear the soundboard stuff in
So
better quality
annoyingly
than ever
loud.
before.
HD.
Yeah, right. I won't turn it down at all. I'll just,
Can we
Yeah,
do
that's
the
what-
soundboard on a phone?
Wise
Into the
from
mic?
your grave.
I tried that, but I paid for the soundboard
Welcome to your
app on the iPad, and it's on Mom Brain's account, not mine.
Yeah,
So it was like another $50 for something I'd use once or twice.
right.
Because the free version, I have all of our sounds in Dropbox, and the paid version lets you do unlimited amounts of sounds and import to the soundboard app. The free version doesn't let you import from Dropbox, so I was kind of screwed. So I had to pay for it. I mean, it was worth the money, but I'm not paying it again to use it just this week.
What do you think would win in a battle royale? B-52s or the Bee Gees?
Bee Gees. What's his face would hit an unbelievable high note and just destroy everybody's brains.
Mm.
That's true.
What's his name?
Andy
Mike
Gibb.
BG, I think.
the Gibbs,
Mike-
the brothers Gibb.
Michael Bajee.
Michael Bajee. Oh, it's Mr. Bajee.
Bobby Bajee.
What a great cartoon that was.
Bobby Bajee.
All right, let's for real.
It's actually pronounced the Bajees. Everyone's been saying it wrong all these years.
You know what the best part about this is? We're 14 minutes in, and I was going to say let's get to news, but we've gone so much longer before not talking about Nintendo stuff. The ghost chair, the ghost chair is still there. Don't worry. I'm going to see if you can see it. What? There you go. There's your ghost chair. When we were doing the podcast in there, people are always like, "Why is there a chair in the corner that nobody sits in?" And we said it was for the ghost of the show. Hi, Matt Fox. And there were other people I missed. I apologize.
BG's B52.
But yeah, let's do some news. We're not
Bust out those nudes.
Oh, that's what we were
you
gonna.
said?
I can't
do
take
nudes.
another offshoot. I need to get
Sure
at
you
least a
can.
couple bits of
go
news
ahead.
in.
News.
I'm
Nudes.
sure there's a way to work it in.
Stay focused on the news.
Smash Brothers Ultimate is getting Dragon Quest's hero character as a playable character later this year, but we don't know when. Apparently, information is going to come out. According to Nintendo France, they're going to talk about it very soon. They put out a teaser for an episode of their Smash Brothers thing, and they said,
Since when does Europe have the news first?
"Oh man, that's a whole conversation."
That's
you
what I'm
know,
saying.
that's a great segue.
Thank you.
I was on Sci-Fi's podcast,
Thanks for
and they
chiming
had
in.
me there to talk about Nintendo, obviously, and they were talking about what it's like covering Nintendo. And I said the worst part is
Europe.
Nintendo of Europe, Nintendo of America, and Nintendo proper, NCL in Japan, don't seem to coordinate with one another.
And then
So
Nintendo
like
Russia.
Europe will talk
Oh,
about
man.
something, and America will be like, "We don't know what you're talking about." They obviously do, but they haven't set up their thing yet.
I think
so
it
we
must
can't
be
talk about
they
it.
speak different languages.
Parts of them do. Yeah.
They
But
speak European.
If only
in
there
Europe.
were a way to communicate instantly.
Some sort of like platform
Maybe
to reach
even
around the
digitally.
world in like a minute.
like a
yeah.
spider's web.
Yeah, but more often than not, it's funny
someone
you say
call
that.
Al Gore.
More often
We need an invention.
than not, it's Europe that gets the stuff first. To tell you the truth, and they've been getting the better limited
I
editions
must have been
too.
thinking about a Russia story you were telling me about and how they messed something up real royally.
Are you talking about Nintendo?
Yeah, Nintendo.
You're
Russia.
right. You're exactly right.
I know.
Something about that. It just
Wasn't making it up.
here. This is terrible.
I've been on podcasts
It
before.
warms my heart that someone on the podcast pays attention because Kirby's fine. Nikki Hill, forget it.
Yeah, no.
I could say it right now, and 2 seconds later, he wouldn't remember it at all. And Mom
Remember
Brain's
what?
just playing games here at the table, so that is fantastic. I appreciate it.
I'm a real student.
Student
Student of the game.
of the game.
Working on my swing.
Nintendo Russia's still having problems. They just deleted a whole bunch of their Facebook pages, and fans are upset because they're like, Nintendo and Russia is a mess.
It's all Tetris
Nintendo
all the time.
needs to get over it. We only talk about Tetris. They got it. Yeah, Tetris 99.
Tetris 58 coming out.
Same game. Same game again.
Same game everyone loves.
We're working on getting all other 98 versions of Tetris out.
We tried new game. It's same.
In this one, bigger block.
I was gonna say they talk about Tetris 99 all the time because that's there's one other Tetris game on the Switch, but still they can.
The B sharps.
I was gonna say somebody in chat is mentioning the B sharp.
C this year.
Autumnal Blake, this is Vitamin G, R-Type, and Bob, who has been on the show once before, but
Yeah, do we have is there like a wiki for the
there's
site with
retro. That's another good shout out. Retro GN Pod on Twitter, so it's at Retro GN Pod. Chronicles every single episode of the podcast. So if you want to go back and see what happened,
I want to see some stats.
you could go to his Twitter account and check that out. It's not like, I don't know that he does like who's on each show and what
Well, that's
we talk
really all
about,
I want
but-
to know. So, get it.
I mean, I have the archives of all the episodes, so I could
The
just give them to
R-types?
you. The
Nice.
R-types. No R-type news today. Anyway, Dragon Quest Hero news apparently coming soon. So says Nintendo of France. Autumnal Blake has the first comment. And he says, with his 16 or so specials, I think he's going to be so cool to play as. Some of them are really interesting and unique too, like Kamikaze. I love the names. Here is his comment. I know you're reading him there and being like, that's not what he's saying.
No, I
left
wasn't
a
paying
com-
attention at all.
No, there we go.
I've never seen a computer.
What
I
is
just
this?
love the sweet shout out for the good mics. That's all. Because I like good mics.
Meat, I got to say, it
It
feels
only-
a lot more official.
Michael Douglas, Michael Jordan.
There we go.
Michael
Mike
Now we're
Douglas,
back.
Mike Jordan.
Man.
It only took 724 episodes. Yeah, last week was our first
Mike Schumacher.
time.
Yeah.
Joel Schumacher, history's greatest.
Wrong.
Mike J. Fox.
Mike James
Man,
Fox.
you think when he hears like if somebody calls him Mike, he gets pissed off, or is he pissed off that everybody calls him Michael?
True story, Mike?
Well, there's a lot of
story,
people
Michael?
like named Michael
True
clearly,
story, Michael?
and they have a big debate. I have a debate. I'm like, is it Michael or Mike? And they generally, that's one of the names where there's a fine line between do not
I
Call
like to
me
give
Mike.
people their
Uh-huh.
full
I'm a
name
Michael.
because I start with, they were given a name and you get the
Yeah.
full thing. So I give them 100%. If they want 50%, fine.
Yeah.
Somebody was on Wheel of
Michael.
Fortune yesterday, and
Michael.
they're one of those people with like 2 first names, and they
Never-
had to
you
like
can't trust
shrink
those
the
people.
text to fit it all on there. And I was like, do you like if you're talking to that person, do you say like both names, or because one of them, I think the first one was like Sarah
Davis.
or something, and it was Sarah like, and then another 3-syllable word. I was like, do you have to say that every time?
Sarah Lynn.
Yeah, but it was the second name was longer.
Mm,
Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee.
Nobody
Linda.
doesn't like that.
I have a friend named Ross, and I was always confused. I'm like, "What's your real name?" And he's like, "Ross." I'm like, "That's not short for like Rossenagel or Rossengel."
Ross Nagel?
You know, the French
Rossenagel?
cheese. Yeah, dude, that'd be a cool
Ar-
ass.
Arnold Rossenagel.
Yes,
Very
yes.
famous.
A tow truck.
Stitched
Long
wants to
Ross.
know any chance there's going to be a Parents Play your levels for Super Mario Maker 2. Yes, 100%. We are going to do that. I still need to edit the Parents Play episode. I haven't had the time, but that's a good point because on Patreon, people wanted the unedited version. So the full fat 40+ minute no cuts version with no special editing. So that is available on the Patreon. It's been there for a week now. Like I said, I need a solid 6 hours to edit that episode, and I haven't had
You
it.
blocking content?
Got to pay to get it. $20 over on Patreon. No, like
Classic.
seriously, from start of importing footage to actually uploading to YouTube, it takes me over 8 hours to do a Parents Play episode. It's a nightmare to edit down like the 40 minutes into like 10 to 15 minutes. Because like I'm also
faxing it to
and then like just throwing it away because I'm like, this was terrible. Starting over again. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. I've like edited like 75% of something and been like, this sucks, and just throw it away.
Rex a million. I got to do this comment stuff. This is
Yeah,
cool.
you got to do live. It's
Yeah,
fun.
this is
if you're
awesome.
not worrying about a camera too, it's even better.
Oh, this is it.
Legend of Zelda, you're playing this.
I am.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is getting a sequel. And Nintendo's most recent job listings point to potentially a change for what's happening in the sequel. So this is a direct sequel, Breath of the Wild 2. That's not the official name yet, but it is like
still breathing, still
it
wild.
takes place directly after, which
Wild
very
now,
rarely
still
happens with a Zelda
Would it
game.
maybe Breath of the
Starring
Wild
Nick
dose?
Cannon.
Could be, right?
Could be Dose, yes.
Yeah.
Mike Zelda.
The new Zelda game stars Mike Zelda. Nick Cannon.
But what if it's Michael's?
Because it's still wild now.
Still wild
Still
and-
breathing.
still wild and now
Still
still
breathing. Nick Cannon and
I
Mike
like
Zelda.
it. I like it.
Man,
What's the Spanish word for banana?
Mike
Or-
Zelda.
I'm pretty sure it's banana.
No way. Banana is the Spanish word that we adopted.
What? I'm sure somebody in the chat
Hey,
can tell
internet,
us that.
can you help us? What is banana?
What
Man,
is, what is banana?
Is it a
What is
Spanish
banana
word?
in-
word?
Spanish.
Yeah.
We're seeing banana here.
Rami
so-
thinks it's just banana.
Yeah, banana.
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 You have to say it. So, because then my name would be Roberto Banana.
Roberto, you won an Oscar for that movie.
Yeah.
Roberto Banana.
Yeah, the penis.
That
What?
wasn't Roberto.
Life is
Benigni.
wonderful.
Oh, whatever. Chocolate. There wasn't even a
Chocolate.
chocolate. movie?
Chocolate.
Starring Robert Banana and Mike Zelda.
Breath of the Wild Pig 2.
Well, anyway.
It was Mike Zelda. Save me.
Hey, Matt Fox said banana.
Well, crazy Colonel, the guy who does
Banana. It just sounds different.
Yeah.
Crazy
It's a
Colonel,
different
the guy
language.
who does the podcast art every week, is going to have a lot to pick from. this
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
So anyway,
Maybe it's
the,
plantain.
the job listings that Nintendo put up for Breath of the Wild 2 give us some insight as to what might be a change for the sequel. So you've played Breath of the Wild. You are playing Breath of the Wild.
I've seen
The
it
game
played.
has divine beasts. You have seen it, which are as close as what you get to a traditional Zelda dungeon in Breath of the Wild, but they're not full-on traditional Zelda dungeons. They don't have different themes. They all have one same theme. It's just a different animal, but they
Smell
all look
different,
the same
too.
inside. So Nintendo is hiring 2 developers specifically to work on dungeons for the sequel. So people are wondering if that might lead to some actual traditional dungeons in the next Zelda game, which is something they want. Yeah,
Love 'em.
right. Everybody guns for the water dungeon, right?
Yeah.
Al Newman, Mr. A. Newman, the guy who created that dungeon in Ocarina of Time, says it's like his bane of existence. That thing still comes up to this day. He's like, I don't remember it being like that hard when I first made it, but he's like, I've gone through and played it recently, and I'm like, boy, why did I do this?
I hate past me.
I was like, that was if not the first, one of the very first Zelda games he worked on. So he
Wanted
has
to really
obviously
show
changed
off
things
to his
since then.
bosses.
See,
Oh, don't worry, I'll make it real hard.
I like to be challenged, but I don't like to be constantly stumped where
I gotcha.
it's like time after time I'm playing for 45 minutes and accomplishing nothing
The
because I don't have a ton of time to
Right.
play.
that dungeon in particular in Ocarina of Time was like everyone's stumbling block. That one certainly took, at least for the majority of people, took them longer than any other dungeon. Even if other dungeons were longer, they had like a flow to them. Like you're
Right.
saying, you get somewhere. This was like you were stuck in the same
Yeah,
towered section forever, and you're like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. How am I missing something? So
I had friends trashing Mario. Which one's the one?
Odyssey?
Odyssey, yeah. Which I loved
Mhm.
because it was just so many little small puzzles, and you could go in and you could.
they were trashing it, saying what?
It was too easy.
I
I mean, it's easy if you just play right through it.
wouldn't ever say that a Mario game is like challenging.
Right,
There's
but it's-
challenge to
But
it.
my point is, if you want to do like what people did in Mario 64 and find every star,
Mhm.
yeah,
that's challenging.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it takes time. There's definitely harder
It's as
challenges.
challenging
in
as you want it to
Well,
be.
that's the other
my
thing.
problem with
You
Zelda.
gotta beat a penguin in a race.
Zelda games in the past
Wow.
has been, it's as challenging as the game makes it,
Yeah.
as opposed to as challenging. Like if I want to dive into something and try and find that stupid star that I can't
what you're
figure
saying.
out, I can do that, or I can ignore it.
I got
Not
what
as-
you're
not
saying.
as-
I
as
get what you're
A
saying. Exactly.
customizability to the challenge level within the way the game's set up.
You cater your own challenge basically
Right.
because there's stars or whatever the hell's in. What's in Odyssey? It's stars, right?
Yeah.
You grab whatever ones you want, and if there's one that's giving you a challenge, there's like 30 others in that
Forget-
area.
And
to
I can
go
try
get.
it a few
Forget it.
times and then be like, okay, bye.
That's a very good
Yeah.
point that I never thought of.
Yeah.
But for those who say
Customizability
Odyssey
of
is too
challenge
challenging, you go for all the stars. But then on top of that, towards the very end, if you get all the stars, there's very specifically created ultra challenging levels for the fans who want to get everything and want a challenge. And that's been the trend with Mario games, I want to say, since Galaxy, really. Like if you did everything, the game's like, here's your reward, a really difficult level that you're gonna like rip your hair out over. Like that's at the very end, only for a select group of people, because only a select group of people is going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I never thought of that because I greatly enjoy Odyssey, but not as much as Galaxy. But I'm coming at it from a different perspective. I'm not thinking of it like that. That's a really good point.
Thank you.
Honestly, you are changing my perception of the game right now. I never thought of it like that.
$1.
$1, Bob. $1.
Playing
Drew.
the game.
Man, that's good. It's man, you guys. I shouldn't say this. Mine is Kirby. Kirby's great. This is a good podcast crew. Good conversation
Mhm.
and funny talk.
I agree.
You're welcome in advance for all the things I'm going to say.
Philo about Zelda says, interesting. Hopefully, the water temple is nice and puts to more use of the Cryonis rune. That's what, the freeze time one?
Yeah, I do know that.
I
The
wonder if they'll
311 room.
update them, like maybe adding secondary abilities, like completely to turning into ice a body of water. So freezing a whole lake instead of a block. He's saying.
Oh.
Or letting you skate on the ice. Those would be good changes.
Oh,
I agree.
that would be wonderful. Those stupid blocks are so annoying.
Ice rod.
Ice blocks.
Got to bring
Yeah.
that ice rod back.
But it's kind of nice when you like scoot up real quick and there's like one of those little fish.
Yeah,
thing,
it's nice,
you know?
but then
I love
it's-
watching for fish under the water and then hitting the water with the ice and popping them out of the water.
Oh, I'm not that good.
You are.
Okay.
You are. I watched you do.
I believe in you.
Come on, Bob.
I watched you do the elephant divine beast. You
I'm still
struggled in
there.
the beginning,
Still in it.
but like the act of getting to it and blocking the stuff with the ice or picking the things out of the air, you struggled at the beginning, but you saw it through. You did it.
Still,
you did good.
Still in
Yeah,
there.
but again, like you used to play games a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you're like the last couple of years, you're getting back into them. There's
Yeah.
a relearning process.
Yes.
There's been a lot of things that have been changing in
Lots
games
more
since
buttons.
those years.
Yeah.
Less wires.
Yeah, a lot more buttons.
Yep.
Exactly.
The internet.
The internet, right?
Yeah.
Now people can tell you how bad you are when you play games all the time.
Everyone's all
Yeah.
like GG. I don't think they mean it.
GG has changed from being a compliment into people being assholes. So
Get
it stands
good.
for good game.
What does it mean now? Good
It's
game.
supposed to stand for good game, but usually now people mean it as get good.
Especially in
Mm.
Rocket League.
What about
Oh my God.
here's a Noob question. They still say noob?
I don't see people really say that anymore.
That's when
They say
I hate
get
you.
good.
They say I hate you.
And they say like it depends on what game you're talking about. But you're a try hard or you're a sweaty. Those are two things people say. That sweaty's more of a Fortnite thing, but a try hard is somebody who's like taking a game very seriously and really trying to be good at it, and the other players don't think they're very good. So it's like making fun of you for trying and not being good.
Yeah.
In their eyes, not
the
being
worst
good.
thing you could do.
See, I've said
Effort.
this. I've said this before. I think a tryhard, in my opinion. So I played a ton of Halo,
Mhm.
and there would be games where I would be completely destroyed by people, and I would be thinking, "What the hell are these people doing with their life?" If I'm spending hours a day,
There are times in every game where I'll play it and I'll be like, I think I'm somewhat decent, and then you'll do fine online, and then you'll hit one match and you'll be like, this is like I've never played before
It's
in my
unbelievable.
life.
I never see them. They're killing me.
You don't know how many combinations of things leads to that. Like you said, maybe they are playing like 22 out of 24 hours a day, or maybe they are just naturally good on a level that we are not going to be able to get to. I mean, that's why there's tournaments and stuff for players who just have that amazing skill.
It was probably the game's namesake, Mike Halo.
Mike Halo, the creator, as we all know and love. Mike Halo. Hey, we need a name for this game. Mike, can we take your last name? Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
Speaking of games with sweaties and tryhards, Tetris 99 is having its 5th Maximus Cup. And this is Splatoon themed because Splatoon 2 is having its final Splatfest, which is Chaos versus Order. It's the last one ever. It's coming up in a couple weeks.
$1 on Chaos.
Why?
Because they've been doing them for over 2 years now, and it's time to end. Like, you can still play the game online, but they're not going to do any more Splatfests, which are like big events where everybody picks a side and they fight against each other. And
I've done a Splatfest or two.
Yeah, they usually have. There's things I write about on the site where I'm like, when we talk about this on podcasts, I know this conversation's coming up in Splatfest. I always think of it.
Gonna need a rag.
For example,
Splatting with the boys is my favorite.
Now that he's got a Switch, he's got to splat with the boys.
Splatting with the boys is my
good.
favorite. Oh my god. We
Thing
got to
to
play that
do
salmon run, man. I
Splat
want
with
to play
the
the
boys.
game.
So yeah,
That
for
was
those who
fun.
don't know, all that stuff continues on. Just no more Splatfest.
It's just on Patreon now.
Just on Patreon for Splatfest.
Raw meat blocked all of the Splatfest.
If you want your Splatfest back, you better donate multiple dollars.
Is there a Japanese word for Splatfest? Starts with a B, ends in an E, maybe?
I don't think that's it. I mean,
Is that
sure,
banana?
why not?
Banana again?
Banana with an E at the
Banana
end.
with an E?
Banane.
I'm gonna guess
Banana.
Nintendo wasn't like, what's the Japanese word for Splatfest? Oh, we already have that
Is
word.
it too late to change?
I was going to say, for people who, I'm talking about things that I know when I see them on the site, the podcast conversations are going to get derailed, like Splatfest. There is the Pokemon.
What'd you say?
There is the Pokemon that was just announced. There you go.
Ian Quinn, you champ.
Lanquin says Bukkake is Japanese for Splatfest, so
I think
Lanquin's
it's
in
Ian-
on the story.
I think it's Ian Quinn.
It's also the art of love.
Is it?
I don't
Or is
know.
it a lowercase L?
Is it Ian Quinn or Lank? Okay.
Anyway. God, what was I gonna? Oh, there's a Pokemon. I need Pokemon fans' help because I don't know. There's a new Pokemon that was
Drippy?
announced recently, and it's like made out of like
Puddle
cream,
of off
and it
white.
shoots cream missiles, and everybody's like,
Come on,
come on,
guys."
really?"
Whipped.
I don't know what this. I don't know what the name of that Pokemon was, but I'm sure you guys do.
Cream missiles is a phrase I
Yeah.
never thought I'd
know,
hear.
Alchemy.
and I will
His
now
name
hear-
is Alchemy. Thank you, everybody.
I'm so excited to
Is it
use it.
2 L's?
So everybody saw
all
this
creamy?
Pokemon Alchemy. That's like a big pile of like ice cream or whatever.
Sure.
But like the description is, Alchemy uses cream missiles, and the whole internet went like, "Whoa, here we go!"
That is
Autumnal
terrific.
Blake has the first comment again, and he says they really went all out making this Splatfest look great, or this Tetris theme look great. This will be so cool to get hyped for the final fest. Team Chaos. He's on Team Chaos. I don't know what team I'm on. I don't know. I don't have a lot of time to pick left. I think I might do Team Chaos over Team Order. Yeah, I think I'm going to do
Why
Chaos.
don't you let the people decide?
Whichever team has
I
the
could
cream
do that too.
missiles.
We should all get in on the
Whichever team has most of the
this is
tryhards.
Splatfest, so everybody's just got
Is team Chaos the sweaty team? raw meat?
Yo, let me get in on this Splatfest.
I don't know.
Room for
who's
one
the-
more
think
in the
it's $1.
Splatfest?
I mean,
Is this
don't-
real life?
You don't really know the sweaty team. You don't really know the sweaty
Seriously
team.
though, we
until
splatting?
The Splatfest is over, so we'll find out who it is.
You want me to bring that mop again?
Rex, I would love to say that, but I can't. That is very funny. Also, here's something else that's brand new that has never happened before. Nintendo has released official Splatfest T-shirts. So again, in Splatoon 2, when you
Made
pick
of
your
plastic.
team, when you pick your team in a Splatfest in game,
Ponchos.
you get a shirt for the Splatfest. But for the final Splatfest, Nintendo is offering real shirts. So
Ponchos.
if you want a Team Chaos or Team Order shirt, you can get them. They're selling them via the Nintendo store. That's the Nintendo UK store or Nintendo store here in the States. You can get them, which is really awesome because people have been for a long time asking for these shirts. And now Nintendo is finally with the final one doing
the
Splatfest shirts. Which is very un-Nintendo-like. So that's cool to see. Autumnal Blake, again, you are killing it, dude. He says,
He's good
shame
at
it's
this."
not in Australia. This would be an awesome one to have. Well, maybe you can import or,
Wait a minute.
third-party resellers.
They're in Australia?
It's autumn there.
Autumnal
Autumnal
Blake?
Blake is in
I get
Australia,
it.
yes.
And they're in the chat room right now?
Yeah. What time is it in Australia?
I think they're in the
Autumnal?
future.
Oh, dude.
I think they're in the future.
Yeah, I think it's like
You ever
Tuesday
drive
morning in
really
Australia.
fast west?
I mean,
Never.
Sure.
You ever hang out with
Probably.
Mike, you ever hang out with Mike Fox in a DeLorean?
What about Mike Halo in a Honda
Hey,
Accord?
here you go. This is
Okay.
crazy. Rex Monsoon is also in Australia right now, and he's live in the chat.
Oh,
What
8 a.m. He says it's 8 a.m. in Perth.
Yeah, but
nearly
what-
8 a.m.
But what day
People
is
are
it?
driving
is
to
it
the
Saturday?
kangaroo
It's tomorrow day. Yeah.
Autonomous Blake.
Not
is
even
it
funny. I'm
Sat-
sorry.
oh,
it's
winter?
very,
It's winter
very
there.
non-Australian.
Yes.
So
And
it's,
hamburgers.
so it's only 85.
Hamburgers eat people there, as we know.
Yeah.
This
Hey,
is
Mr. Prime Minister.
Lord Paul. This is for you.
Andy.
This is a story for you.
Saturday. Holy.
There's the
Stuff.
Pokemon trading card game, which has
I'm-
been around for a really long
That's
time.
true. Yeah.
Well, a lot of those cards are worth a lot of money. One of those cards in particular is worth $60,000.
Yeah.
the-
Professional sports authenticator gets a lot of magic.
Oh, I
and,
watched an
Pokemon
interview.
cards.
I'm going to give a shout out right now. Anthony Padilla, who
Yes,
used
sir.
to be a member of Smosh on YouTube, like the biggest comedy duo on YouTube,
Mm.
has been since day one a huge GoNintendo fan. And I've talked to him for years and years and years. He's split off from Smosh. He's doing his own thing. He has a great new series on YouTube where he talks to like people that are very focused on one particular thing, like somebody who does cosplay all the time or somebody who is a substitute teacher, and he does interviews with them to find out what their lives are like. And his most recent video was about Pokemon card collectors, and they had like the number one card collector who gets all the certified cards and does all that stuff, and he's got like a $5 million collection in Pokemon cards. It's crazy. And he shows off a little of his collection and what he's done and how far he's gone to collect stuff. But man, check out that video. It's amazing. Hello, Tass. Thanks for joining us. And Mario 7 stars if I didn't say hi. But yes, there's a $60,000 card that's trainer number 3. There's only so many of them, obviously. Somebody purchased this card. The card was insured when it was sent, and it was sent to a third party to deal with this stuff to then pass it on to the buyer. The problem is the package, which was a lot, not like a whole bunch. I mean, like a lot of stuff, was signed for, but this $60,000 card wasn't in there. The third-party company didn't bother to check. So since that company signed off on the package, but that card wasn't in there, the insurance can't be claimed. So a $60,000 Pokemon card is missing. Nobody knows if it never made it there, if somebody stole it. It's not like if it was stolen, that guy could just turn around and sell it, because there's like a very limited amount of these cards in existence. So nobody knows what the hell happened, and it's this big mystery of trying to figure out where the hell the card went to.
Sounds like Russian meddling to me.
I just, man, a $60,000 card and it just up and disappears, and now you're screwed. That's terrible.
Little convenient that it's the only card of the entire lot.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure what else was in there. It was like a big batch of stuff, but obviously
Someone
other
who had their hand
Pokemon
on it
things.
somewhere in the flow of
Yeah,
business
yeah.
help themselves to it, because those things are pocket size and they're worth a lot of
Too
money.
coincidental that like the lot was signed for, but that
Yeah.
card's not part of it. Yeah. Autumnal Blake again
Man.
is the first comment. He says,
That's
well,
because
check
he's
your
in the
mail.
future.
Check your
Yeah.
mailboxes, everyone. Autumnal Blake
already sent
usually
all
has
these.
the top comment on stuff, but not this many in a row. Pokemon news again.
Goodness.
Pokemon Go has been out for a while,
Right.
3 years now.
Wow. That
How
long?
much money do you think Pokemon Go has made for Pokemon Company?
Like
Price is Right
like a
rules.
cool mill.
always. I knew it was coming. Price is Right rules. Take your guesses.
Oh, jeez. I don't know what games gross
Oh,
anymore.
jeez.
Oh, boy. Guessing games. $1.8 million.
Okay. Now, also, I want to point out, Pokemon Go itself is free, and there are microtransactions.
Oh, so zero. I changed to zero.
You're not paying money to get the actual game.
Well, it's free.
Do you have an actual guess, or are you sticking with Cool Mill?
I'm gonna stick with Cool Mill.
Okay. You?
A bunch of bananas.
Thank you, Bob. Pokemon Go in 3 years has made for the Pokemon Company $2.65 billion.
Mhm.
You got
Hello, Maxim.
Mhm.
$2.65 billion in 3 years. The majority of that was made in the U.S. U.S. accounts for 35% of that, but Japan isn't that far behind with 29%, and then 54%.
And that guy who has like 30 phones, you seen that setup?
That guy is so awesome, man. There's an old man in Japan. I think it's Japan, who loves Pokemon Go.
An old Japan man.
An old Japan, Japan 4, and Japan 4. You know that he loves Pokemon Go, and he made a rig for his bike, like his regular bike, pedal bike, not like a moped or something. And it held like 12 different phones on it, so he could drive or he could ride around. There you go. He could ride around town and play Pokemon Go. But he used to have a rig. He switched from the bike rig to a rig that he wore on his body to walk around.
Like a steady cam.
Yeah, but then when he did that, he added more phones.
Oh, whoa.
But then that became too unruly, so he
Gotta
went,
catch them all.
he went back to the bike and added in even more phones. Long story short, he kept adding on phones.
he was hit by a car.
Long story short, he attracted so much attention that he got an official sponsorship from a phone company, and they said, if you use our phones, we will give you 30 of our phones, and we'll pay you to be like our mascot for a while. So he's doing
crappy
it.
phone company.
No, it's not a brand popular here, but popular over there. So it's like a decent phone. They were launching like their brand new entry in their line of phones, and they launched it with him. They had him out on stage with the bike and everything.
That's incredible.
So the man's living his dream basically. He's playing Pokemon Go on 30 different phones, and he's got them all for free, and he's riding his bike.
So he's about half of that, whatever billion.
Yeah, roughly half of the 2.65 billion is
That's
from him.
I'm very good at math.
54% of that comes from the Google Play Store. So the iOS store is not the majority because, as you might know, if you follow, the Android share is bigger than the Apple share because
It's
Apple
better.
only has how many phones really, and there's so many more Android.
Better.
I mean that's a discussion we could get into if you want to. I've been saying for years that I wanted to move away from an Apple phone, but I can never find one where I feel comfortable enough to like jump in
Well,
on
a
it.
lot of people want freedom. So
Yeah, no,
I understand.
And there's certain apps that I use for
Like Braveheart.
what I do on GoNintendo that aren't on Android. Like I don't have an option yet. So if I need some of that to convince me to really hop over.
okay.
But as far as computers,
Yes. William Wallace.
I've tried so many times I can't. Yep, you got it.
That's good.
This is a guy that likes sports. This is a guy that likes sports.
I don't like sports at all.
Turn his mic off.
I don't. You guys both like soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Gaga.
I like playing. soccer.
Gaga. Bariaga.
Do you really play soccer?
I love it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I just
Well,
don't.
this is about soccer.
Actually, I don't mind watching soccer either.
I don't like. I obviously don't
Care.
play sports,
What
but I don't.
about FIFA sports?
I
How's
don't
Wade at the
have
park for
like if somebody was like, "Hey, come over. We're watching whatever." Like I'm going to hang with the people. I don't care. I'm not going to be like, "No, I don't like sports."
You're
You're a man of the people. Yeah.
Whoa.
So
You owe me
like,
that dollar.
Chime
Let's
in?
rip that.
Can I chime in?
I think I want to have a chime so I can.
that's what I
actually
said. We
chime.
need it on the table.
Can we get that
Um,
coin block?
But yeah, I'm told like I'm not like sports are dumb. I hate sports. It's just I don't watch
Kevin,
sports, but I
Neat. I can't believe you'd say something like
would. God damn it!
I feel like you were going to segue into something with these two guys over here that do.
I am.
that
This
do-
is about
do.
FIFA, which is soccer related.
that.
So FIFA 19 is on the Switch, and anybody that plays FIFA knows that EA tries to do microtransactions out the ass. They want you to spend all kinds of money.
That's what the
on
memes
this stuff
say.
Because EA says it's not gambling. EA says, "quote It's quite ethical and quite fun, according to them in their legal hearing about that. But anyway, this
when
mom
you
and
said
that's where
these
that
guys
came
like
from.
sports. You mean video game sports?
no,
or
real sports. I know they are both fans of soccer in real life.
virtual
IRL.
and
Yes.
and that.
So with these microtransactions, a
In
mom and
RL.
dad in the UK found out that in the course of 3 weeks, their children spent on microtransactions 550 pounds
Whoa.
That's a lot of bananas.
trying to
Yeah.
trying that.
That's like a cool
that
meal.
needs
A
to
lot
be
of-
clipped out and added to our soundboard.
It's a lot of bananas.
That's a lot of bananas.
$1 every time.
So the parents were like, "What the hell is going on here?" And the kids were trying to get like specific players that they wanted. And the best part is they spent all that money and they didn't get the player that they wanted, who is Lionel Messi.
Mm.
Mm.
Lionel Messi.
I like Lionel
Why isn't he
Richie.
in the game?
Because why
I-
put him
now,
in if you could pay for him?
Again,
That's-
I don't know how it
yeah.
specifically works, but
He's definitely
my
in the
guess
game.
is he's in the game.
Yeah.
But you pay money to get like, I don't know,
A
like
shoe.
the 2015 Lionel Messi who has this stats or
Who
wears
has this mullet.
I was going to say costume,
This
but that's
mullet.
not what you wear in sports.
You wear a New Jersey.
His sporting costume.
Oh, man, it couldn't be any more on display how little I pay attention to
Mm.
sports. What costume you got on there, buddy?
Is
So
that
yeah,
retro
the good
costume?
news is
They're
they
my
complained to
favorite squadron.
Nintendo. Nintendo took away all the charges, so they got refunded their money. And the parents openly admitted it was their fault, which
You
is refreshing.
did-
They said there's parental controls and all that stuff, and we didn't bother to set up any of it. So Nintendo should have basically been like, "Screw you."
I feel like I saw an EA screen cap of a cell phone game they had, like an NBA game, and you could pay literally $100 for a LeBron or Steph Curry character.
LeBron James. I don't know if it was EA because 2K does microtransactions out the ass as well,
Right.
and they're really bad about it.
Right.
Plus, 2K just did something that really got fans annoyed. NBA 2K19, I guess, is the most recent one. It's a $60 game, regular full price game, and they just did a thing where they added in.
You want a court? You want a ball?
Yeah, wait for the ball. Unskippable advertisements. So, like, you go in
Ooh.
to play a game, and you have to watch like a 2-minute commercial before you can get in. And people are like, "Listen, if I got the game for free,
I'd understand.
I get it, but I paid
I would-
$60.
I would flip.
Right? That's
I'd flip
crazy.
out.
I think there's nothing wrong with 2K being like, here's 2 options: a free version of the game or a cheaper version of the game with advertisements, or the full price and no advertisements. Not, here's the game you bought last year for $60 and now we're making you sit through advertisements. That's unbelievable.
That's
That's
awful.
really crappy.
That's awful.
Sorry, Autumnal Blake, but Hawk has the top comment this week, and it's not just the first; it is literally the top rated.
and
comment.
Hawk says here that Autumno Blake gave him this comment.
Hawk says loot box mechanics need to end. This is exactly the kind of situation publishers like EA are hoping for when they create microtransactions. I agree with that. Those kids spent nearly $700 trying to get one stupid player. Given that loot boxes are under scrutiny right now from multiple governments, also true. I hope stories like this will be taken into account. Yeah, it's somewhat predatory, yes, because there's no way EA's not doing this, knowing that that situation is going to happen. They have a name for those people. They're called whales. They look for the whales to spend all the money. They're not looking to pull a little bit of money from everybody. They're looking for that baseline, but really the whales who will spend an insane amount of money. Sometimes it's people really dedicated to the game, and sometimes it's kids who are spending and the parents don't even know. So
Yikes.
it's unfortunate, but yes, there's lots of discussion going on
Ball
in
and a cup
government
for
right
my
now.
kid, that's it.
Dude, my kid's buying stuff on Vudu, the
Yeah,
streaming service.
no,
It's
not good.
ridiculous. I don't even understand it.
Ball and
What
a
do you
cup.
get on Voodoo?
Movies and stuff.
Black
Do they
magic, mostly.
Do they have things like
Dolls?
you can't get it somewhere else?
Necromancing tips.
Dolls.
Revenge.
Because I see the app all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what are they offering
like
that I
it.
can't get on other stuff?
No. Well, sometimes they have pre-release stuff.
The whole like,
I think it's a little quicker than Amazon. I like it.
yeah, I've never used it. I don't know anything about it. The whole.
Talk to my son. He'll tell you all about it. He knows better than I do. I actually put a parental pin on it, and he's still buying. I don't even understand. I'm more.
Well, we were talking to
Yep, that's it.
Penyak,
Oh yeah.
and
Does he have a screen name or a handle?
on his Switch. He's got the parental controls set up,
Yeah.
and he can see when his kid is trying to break into the Switch. Like, and he'll get a notification on his phone that says so and so is trying to log in, so and so is trying to put in the password, stuff like that. And he's got to like physically. Did you hear he physically hit
I like
the
that he
Switch?
can shut it down though.
Yeah,
From
yeah,
his
yeah,
phone, he
yeah.
can. I like that.
He physically hid the Switch from his kid because his kid was being an ass. But instead of doing that next time, he took a Joy-Con off and hid that so he couldn't play. But then he forgot where he left the Joy-Con.
Oh,
He had to go hunting for it. And they have a feature where you can find it, like set it to vibrate. But hello, Dale. Thanks for
Hey,
joining us.
Dale. Real life question.
Oh,
Turok.
Joey JCB. Good to see you, my friend. Yes.
Real life question. So what's Turok like in real life?
It's funny.
No, have they made a new Turok since that one?
New?
Because I love Turok.
You could not.
Michael Turok.
You could not
Mike
have
Turok?
asked.
Mike Turok.
Mickey T?
Wasn't he one of the Beastie Boys?
I think so.
That's it. Turok.
You could not have asked this question at a
I
more
like
perfect
Turok, and I
time.
like Turok.
You're
A
welcome,
new
Morris.
Turok game was just leaked this week.
Leaked.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
not going to be
Sounds like
one
it's
you'll
not done
want.
yet.
It's a new take on Turok. It's like an isometric, like
Leaked in Splatfest.
Zelda style, kind of game.
Exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
Um,
okay. All right.
But Turok 1 and 2 were added to the Switch in HD. They redid them in HD. So if you want that classic
Really?
Turok fix, they're available now. Yeah.
Are there dinosaurs?
I mean, it's the original games redone,
All right.
or it's remastered. I should say it's not
So
a
it
remake.
wasn't like when they ported Wolfenstein to the SNES and they had to do giant
Change
rats.
out rats. Yeah.
giant
Oh,
rats.
sorry. I
Oh,
forgot.
right,
I wasn't
yes.
paying attention.
Who
yeah.
can say Turok backwards fastest?
Kurut. Kurut.
Kurut.
I want to say it was you.
Coconut.
But I might have said it wrong.
Well, he is
$1.
the most
He
intelligent.
didn't say
for my
correctly. He
judgment.
just said who could say backwards the
He's wearing-
fastest.
he's
There was
wearing
no
glasses.
reason.
Yes, of
you didn't have-
course.
you didn't
Well,
have to
wait
say
a
it
minute.
I
correctly.
could put my glasses on.
I could put Michael. We should all wear glasses.
There was discussions about everybody having a beard at the table, and they like that too. So
Tonight,
we're
here
on fire.
This
Yeah.
is
like
new.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes, you did, Dale. You heard your name on YouTube. It's real. I was just mentioning this to.
Yeah, Dale. Yeah, Dale.
I didn't mean it
You
like that.
Dale.
Yeah, Dale.
I didn't mean it like that. R-Type. I was mentioning earlier.
What's that mean? I don't know what R-Type
That's
is.
his name.
Oh,
And it's
their
also a
name.
game. The game's name is R-Type.
Okay.
Nintendo announced that the Switch has, by their count, over 2,400 games available already. 2,480 are on the system as of right now.
It's practically a cool mill.
And counting.
Is that a soundboard
One,
bite, I hope?
one game.
Cool
Robbie.
mill.
I need to write a list of
Yeah.
the things from today.
I like that it's all currency, too.
I want the
bunch
bananas
of
and I want a
bananas.
cool mill. Yeah,
Cool
it's all
mill.
about money, right?
Yeah, all about that.
We already had the Toe Jam and Earl money sound clip on there, but we
Money.
need these too. Yes, there's
$1.
2,480 games available. Already.
lot.
Because Fat Mission in chat says you did it, Dale. That's
Yeah,
great.
Dale.
You guys, this is not a lie. Our podcast listeners are so great. I
They really
love
are.
you guys.
This is amazing. I
Back
feel
to
like it's
normal.
the first. Okay.
No, I meant like.
Yes, back to normal.
No,
please.
hold on. Let me say it. Back to normal. Autumnal Blake as the first comment. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, good.
What do you
Thank
mean
God.
as the first
I was worried.
comment?
Here on
I
the
was
site.
worried about him.
That last
Oh,
comment
this
was
is-
complete
wait, these
nonsense.
comments
Those
are-
winters
okay.
in Australia will
I
get
sh-
you.
You're new. Let me explain.
Explain the internet.
On the
Explain the
podcast, I go
internet.
through stories that I have labeled as top stories.
Okay.
I always do the first
That.
comment that's on that story just to be nice. I
Oh,
read
okay.
it.
All right.
Autumnal Blake has the first comment on this story, but yes, he is also live in the chat.
So
As
he
you can
nails
see,
it
he's
every
saying,
time.
"Haha, I win."
Way to go,
Autumnal Blake
Autumnal
In the
Blake.
story, it says,
Guantanamo Bay.
Autumnal Blake.
great variety too. There really is something for everyone. Yeah, there really is. There's a lot. And like I was saying, the R-Type, there's like 7 games that came out just this past week that I want to play.
How many of them are golf games?
Hentai games? Golf hentai games.
Well,
Honey Pop is the one I'm
Honey
holding out
Pop
for.
is
too.
the only hentai game I can think of.
This guy.
Honey
he
Pop.
needs to
You
be,
showed me that.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
you need to be-
hello.
Yeah, but you need to be in on our Honey Pop
I think
adventure
this
that we
crew needs to play Honey Pop.
did tonight.
Did that
Hot
squeak?
damn
Did that
tonight.
squeakquel come out?
I think
Not
we-
yet. As last I heard this
The
year.
squeegee
The lequel?
I played Honey Pop on my own to completion, and then I also I
And
was
then
like,
he
this
played
game
it during
is
Splatfest.
this game is so
And he played it to the end of the game.
I think
funny.
we should have an SFW spinoff.
NSFW.
Whatever it is.
Single.
Oh,
fight
so when you
females?
no,
NS not
I thought you
safe
meant like
for women.
ANNSFW. So it's like a
AN.
safe for work podcast.
No.
ASL.
ASL.
no.
We should-
not S for W.
Here's your
Yeah.
chance.
No S and F and W.
An ASMR podcast.
And it, what?
Don't say it. I won't. Thanks for joining the GoNintendo Podcast. Webisode 726. We need there you go. There's an ASMR Do you know what ASMR is?
Can I say stuff now?
Yeah, we're normal.
What's happening?
There's an
Back to
ASMR
normal, please.
beer commercial.
May I chime in?
Has any of you seen it? It just started.
I
airing.
did.
Yeah, it's.
I was like, that's how far ASMR has
Yep.
come. That was
ASTM?
great.
I don't know it. Can you?
ASMR is.
It's really dumb.
Oh,
I forget what it exactly stands for, but basically it's like
No,
you know how
some
sometimes
kind
you
of
might
reflex to soft sounds that
Yeah.
gives you the tingles.
sometimes you might hear something that will
about
like
the tingles,
give you goosebumps or make the hair
whispering.
stand. Yeah.
Mm.
gentle
So it's,
sounds.
people have like special microphones set up for that to make it sound like it's in real space.
yeah. And it,
So you put in a
3D.
pair of headphones and they have a 3D microphone. So they'll be like talking all around the microphone or like snipping scissors or tapping on something.
Oh.
It's become like a huge YouTube industry.
Yeah.
People are
Okay.
making lots of money off of it.
Yeah,
All right.
But it is a thing.
I was
Vitamin
thinking
G.
more
But
about
as you
just
can
being
tell,
raunchy.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But maybe
ridiculous.
maybe you just haven't found the right ASMR yet.
But Vitamin G, have you purchased their bathwater? Divine.
Chugged. I butt chugged it.
Please,
Thanks, Joey.
Animalicious.
please butt chug my bathwater.
Autonomous
Um,
sensory meridian response.
I have to feed
Try
the
butt
cat.
chug.
Otherwise he's gonna annoy us really
Oh,
bad.
Okay.
Can
Oh,
I
he's already moving the
I know.
camera.
Wait a minute.
can I leave this story to one of you
Oh,
guys?
Give it to me.
Yes, you
Give it to
can.
me.
Where are you going?
I gotta feed the cat. I'll be right back.
Is there any way you can make the camera show vitamin
Yeah,
G?
you just did it.
Well, not just.
All right,
G.
we're on to the next story here, folks. This
On to
is
the next
Vitamin
one.
G coming at you live.
Can we golf? Can we golf clap you in?
Coming at you live. Yeah, baby. It's 6 p.m. It's
Where
actually
is
8
your
p.m.
splat?
Donkey Kong 3 Wrecking Crew and a new rewind feature are being added to the Switch Online NES collection on July 17th, 2019.
That's very soon. I don't think I'm ready.
I think, is that now? No,
No.
that's this weekend.
Yeah. No
No
reason for you to know today's date.
I know very little about this.
Just so you know, Autonomous Blake said this is going to be a disaster.
Hey, what the?
Thanks, Autumnal.
Oh, good. Rami's back. Here
Thanks.
you go.
Thanks, Guantanamo.
I read the
Guantanamo
headline.
Blake said it's going to be a disaster.
I read the headline and then
Donkey King
fell
3 Erection Crew.
Okay, here's
Yeah.
what happened. I'll tell you very quickly. Your next NES Online collection games for the
Ooh.
Switch are Donkey Kong 3 and Wrecking Crew. But the really important feature is there's a new rewind aspect being added. So
Never
you'll
done.
now be able to rewind your gameplay for just a little bit to undo a mistake that you did rather than having to restart or something like that. There you go.
I shouldn't have splat there. Rewind.
This is only for NES games, so there will be no Splatoon splatting, but feel free to splat on your own. Yes. Me Real has the top rated comment and says, I'm an old man and I have much nostalgia for both Donkey Kong
Yeah.
3 and Wrecking Crew.
I bet he's
It's
younger
all
than
coming
us.
up roses for me. Yes, two very old NES games that a lot of people aren't happy about, but it is what it is. Moving on, a new Monkey Ball game seems to be in the works.
Man, freshman year of college.
Good.
Super Monkey Ball non-stop.
Dude, I
When-
just want to point you to Autonomous Blake's fame.
I did have a moment of fame this week. My Mario Maker course got number 10 global. Congratulations, Autumnal.
Autonomous Blake.
Hey, Autumnal, on Patreon, hit me up with the message for the code and I'll check it out.
And $1 billion.
And $1 billion. Please submit it with $1 billion.
I hope you're a whale.
Otherwise, he'll block your
Oh,
your mouth.
Oh, he'll block your.
Good.
what was
Man.
it? Oh, yes, Super Monkey Ball.
Good.
Good
memory.
Did I bite?
Bite.
Did I buy a launch GameCube with you? Was that the same night? Did you go to a midnight launch for the
We
GameCube?
stood in line outside of Walmart for a PlayStation.
That's what it was. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we did that.
I think I went with you for Xbox. Xbox
Yes.
360?
Yep, I remember that. Yeah, I know I went to get a GameCube on launch night at midnight, and it was after Homecoming because I was in like a suit. Like Danielle,
Nice.
now I'm
Not the
Mom
Kanye
Brain
West album.
was in like her dress, and I was in my whatever tux or
Oh.
something. And we went there midnight launch to
Ooh.
get the GameCube, and I picked up Super Monkey Ball.
Does this guy know how to party or what?
Whoa!
And I was just talking about this earlier this week because the guy was like, I reserved a GameCube. And he's like, I'm so sorry, sir. We only have the purple one. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I want to play the games. I don't care about the color of it. And he's like, oh, we had a lot of people who are really angry. And I was like, no, I'm fine. It's okay. Thank you.
Couldn't be less surprised.
Yeah, right.
Purple.
Or maybe he was like, "Oh, this guy's in a suit. He's
That's
gonna
not
want. He's
my
gonna want
favorite color. He's a distinguished gentleman.
He won't want
Everyone
the
knows they
purple.
hate purple.
But yes, I got Super Monkey Ball. What a fantastic
Great
game!
game.
Oh my god.
We were playing that not very long ago.
Yeah, that monkey target is still
completion.
good. Like you're saying,
So
good, still good.
I, Gon, and then another double.
Me.
Big butt.
Wait,
Baby,
in that game,
Gon
don't,
is the big guy.
don't you roll and collect things?
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
collect?
and there's the mini golf game also.
You're
Or like
doing
it's
this
like
on
a
purpose.
level thing.
What do you collect, Bob? Tell me.
Maybe like a bunch of bananas.
We've done it.
And yeah, they even had a Dole sponsorship in a couple of the games.
Is that right?
Yeah. But yes, apparently a new one is in the works. Sega hasn't officially announced it, but Sega has grabbed the trademark for it in Korea and Japan and
Is Sega also
Taiwan.
Is Sega also crowdsourcing devs for this game?
No, I think they're doing this like real deal. It's been a long time since we've had a new Monkey Ball, and fans have been asking for it because it's a really simple mechanic. B,
True.
a
Roll.
ton of fun. C, can be super challenging. D, has great mini game stuff.
Yeah, and memorable
So,
character names.
It's been a long time. This new game, we don't have an official English translation.
Nor do
for
we
the
now.
name. Right? But it's called, according to Google,
Oh yes, so excited.
Super Monkey Ball. Now good taste.
Tasty bananas.
Oh my.
So it's Tabegoro in
Purple's my
Japanese,
favorite
but
color.
for us, so Tabegoro means ripe, in season, or good to eat. So the title will work out some way like that in English. So I don't know
Tastes
what they're gonna
good.
call it. Like
Probably tastes good.
Super Monkey Ball ripe Super Monkey Ball. They might change it up altogether.
Super
But
Monkey Ball. Tastes
and
good.
this filing recently that we
Ripe
got,
Super Monkey Balls.
this filing that we just recently got is the first one that included brand new artwork for the game as well. So this is 110% actually happening. There is a new Monkey Ball game
You
coming.
can't-
It's just
you can't-
Sega hasn't
May I
officially
chime
announced
in?
it yet.
You can't get higher than 100%.
Now you can.
1%.
Have you read that thing where the guy
book?
yeah, it's got like papers in it and it's like scribbles.
Scribbles.
The guy that was fighting with the mobile company because they were charging him one thing and they told him they would charge another, and it's like a 30-minute conversation with him trying to explain basic math to the person.
No.
It's unbelievable.
Sounds scary.
You have to see it. The guy ended up like getting it fixed, but after like going through 3 different people and then starting a blog to chronicle how they wouldn't fix it and they didn't understand math. Autumnal Blake again says, I haven't
Super
played one of
monkey
these,
taste.
but I'm sure it would really piss me off. I'm down. That is,
future.
I mean, the second
That's
and
about
third
sums
part-
up most games I play.
I was
here.
going to say Super Monkey Ball, your second and third sentence were exactly right. Even if you have played it, it pisses you off, but you want to
Oh,
play
yeah.
it more. So
I always come in last.
man, I forgot this happened. That's how busy this week was. Nintendo officially revealed the Switch Lite this week.
I saw that.
The Switch Lite, which has been rumored for a very long time,
Only
is,
80 calories.
is now real.
Hey, do you know I know about that?
Great taste, less
Now you do.
filling. So how'd you find out?
YouTube.
I was hoping you would say
Oh,
Go
yeah,
Nintendo.
remember-
but-
Well, obviously, Go Nintendo.
Remember when the Switch
Downtown.
came out and people were trying to eat it when they found out there was a anti-eating
Yeah.
flavor coating on it?
Who
on
does-
the
it was just like a
games.
couple episodes ago
on
where
the games,
somebody
that's right.
had just a couple episodes of the podcast ago. Somebody had me lick another game cartridge. to see if
Again,
it still
still
tasted
See if they were
like
still
it.
doing it. So
You know-
the
Is it terrible? Is it
You're-
as terrible as they'd say?
so the
It's
Switch
bad, yeah.
Lite
You
tastes
wanna-
better.
I got ones that haven't been licked.
kinda wanna-
I
you
kind
kinda
of want to
should
lick
do it.
one.
Can the
All
cat
right,
lick
hold
it?
on. Yeah, I got one that
No,
hasn't been
no, no.
licked or even opened yet.
It's poison.
Hi,
Oh.
1GWX. What a pleasure to see you, my friend. Hold on one second.
So the Switch Lite
gee.
has a new,
Oh, wow.
new
That was-
flavor profile.
Wait, but isn't the Switch itself lighter? Like I saw
This one
the-
has a light on it that goes on.
Just a light. It's a flashlight. It's just a flashlight.
Yeah.
somebody doing some good business.
It's a switch light.
Oh, look
It's-
at
it's
It's
look
actually
at-
that.
It's a light switch.
Oh, light.
Oh, I'm
switch.
sorry. False alarm. It's a new light
Switch.
switch.
Light switch.
It's a light switch.
While you're opening that, let me get through the real information about the Switch
Oh,
Lite. It comes out September 20th.
It
it
turns
is-
on lights.
It is $200 instead of $300.
Whoa.
It is portable only. You cannot hook it up to a TV. So if you want portable only, you go with this. It doesn't have HD Rumble. It doesn't have the IR sensor. But any game on Switch that supports handheld mode, which is like 99.9% of them, will work on this system. So
Vitamin G could do a good like ASTM.
the Joy
thing to-
ASTM, yeah.
Sir Shrugs a lot. over here.
The Joy-Cons don't detach. It's solid controllers. And one of the big differences on the left, so I was waiting for ASMR package opening. The left Joy-Con has a D-pad instead of the face buttons like a regular Joy-Con does, which people are really excited about because they wanted a Joy-Con
He's gonna
or
do
a
it.
D-pad.
Oh,
All right,
that's how they get
let
you.
me turn this to you while you're
What
licking
side do
this
I
hard-
lick?
Dude,
The
get
back.
get up in that
Like
camera.
that?
and
The metal part?
Don't lick the metal part,
that
but the
part?
plastic part above the metal.
Just give it a good lick.
No,
Other
plastic
side,
above
other
the
side.
metal.
Not the metal part, but
Pop
the
that
plastic
whole-
above the metal.
Pop it in
like
like a
that
chick.
piece.
You got
Just throw the whole
just the
thing in
back, the back. Yeah, just
there. Get all
don't
up
lick
in
the
that
metal.
camera business though.
He's good. We got him.
Zoom. Delicious.
It's not bad.
Would you say it's at all bitter?
I mean, worse.
Cinnamon?
Sure. It's no more or less bitter than like
Like in a nickel?
any other piece of plastic.
Oh, well then I would disagree. Yeah, I trust me. I've licked a lot of plastic in my day. It's
Excuse me.
like they applied like a serious bittering agent to it to
I
avoid
thought it was going to be gross.
to get people. I love it. Can I eat
I
one? Of
actually
these?
like
Can I
this.
eat another one? To get people to not put them in their
That's
mouths.
bitter. I get it.
Okay, so
I get it.
I mean, like a regular plastic, I don't think is bitter.
Yeah,
at
trying
all.
to save children's lives. You know. It's a
Oh
Just,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
dipped it in a
It's a choking hazard.
I need.
This game is the shit.
I am not. I should be ashamed, but I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm not all that up on like who heads up nations.
Okay.
And
Usually
countries and
presidents
other
or prime
parts of the
ministers.
world. Over in Denmark,
Sure.
their leader is a
Prime minister.
their prime minister
But they also have a monarchy.
was on
But they don't
a
do anything.
TV show.
Okay.
They have a variety show, kind of like like a late night show or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And the discussion of Switch game card tasting came up when it
Mhm.
was like first really big because it became a little bit of a trend.
Sure.
And their prime minister
It was a challenge.
watched me lick a Switch game card and
yeah.
reacted to me doing it.
remember
What?
this.
My Nintendon, who works for the site, was like, "You are never gonna guess what just happened over here," and he sent me the whole
That's too
segment.
funny.
Unbelievable.
I know the prime minister. It's Mike Denmark.
Mike
That's it.
Denmark.
Uh,
Denmark.
it's,
Daniel Mark.
Michael Daniel Mark.
Marcus.
That's who started Denny's. Denny's Marcus.
Danny Marcus.
Dan Mark.
He played varsity football over at Ebert.
Yeah.
oh yeah, Dan, great
Over
guy,
at
great guy.
Copenhagen University.
Great guy.
Copenhagen.
So yes, Switch Lite comes out September 20th, $200. So if you're really a portable fan, this is the way to go. It's $100 cheaper, and Nintendo.
So is
has
it a light switch or a portable fan?
both.
Okay. I
Nintendo
think I got
has
it.
the information on how people play the Switch all the time, so they know if you're playing docked or handheld. And their
mining.
data, they say, show that people play mostly portable. So they're serving obviously a big chunk of the market, and obviously
Smart.
potential customers that haven't picked it up.
People mostly play portable.
I know, yeah.
I mean, I know that it's portable, but it's
Portable.
big, and
Well, people throw it in their
it hurts
their
to play it
bag
after a while.
or their backpack or
Mm.
People use the kickstand a lot and just use
Yeah.
the
split
Joy-Cons.
hand Joy-Con. Yeah.
Yeah. I see that a lot.
Like kick the stand out.
Do you have to buy
That's
all new
another po-
games, or can one profile?
No, all the games work. Oh, you mean
Like
digital
if I
transfer?
bought-
Yes, as long as you have a Nintendo account, which you do.
Right, I
because
do.
You can
Thanks to Nintendo.
log in on your Switch Lite
Yeah.
and play the games that you downloaded on your Switch. You just can't play them at the same time on both devices.
Yeah.
But Nintendo is also going to offer a way for you to transfer over everything that's
Mm.
physically on.
Yes.
Your old Switch.
That's
So if,
my
like,
hope.
You want to trade in your Switch for a Switch Lite,
Yeah.
you can at the store transfer over and then go. But yeah, so that's for like save game
Almost
data,
like
pictures
flipping a
and stuff.
switch.
Like, Mary Kato says, "Is it me or does it feel a bit off feeling?" I don't know. It's the reaction has been really good, so it might just be you.
I like the colors.
Here's the thing. I saw a great thing. Yeah, the colors are very different from what you would expect. There's a gray, there's a yellow, and there's a turquoise.
Yeah, I like
Interesting
the
color
yellow.
choices.
Get some of the yellow.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into the portable gameplay, then I mean, it's $100 cheaper. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the Switch is selling like crazy now, and they're doing a special Pokemon Sword and Shield version of this too, like a design of Pokemon.
Ooh.
The thing's gonna sell like
For
crazy.
$100 though, I don't know.
No,
What?
$100 less.
$100 less.
But that's what I mean. For $100, you can play it on an HD TV.
Well,
Like,
this is
I don't
going to
know why you
be
wouldn't
this
want
is going
that
to be
option.
the gift for
Well, that's what they're saying.
the young people.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is the gift. This is the new Game
That's
Boy.
exactly it. Yeah, because Nintendo said
gift
they've
for the
done
young
a
people.
Is
study.
it smaller?
I'm not spending $300.
It's a little.
on-
Oh yeah, it's smaller.
Okay.
It's more pocket friendly. Yes,
Got it.
One of the developers at Nintendo in a video specifically reveals it by taking it out of his pocket to show you how much smaller it is.
Whoa.
It's
Was his
smaller.
pocket
and it's
extra
lighter.
big? Was his pocket like this
like a-
big?
Let me just reach into my normal size pocket.
The pocket was the entire back of his
Clown
jacket.
pants.
Yes, it is smaller,
Yeah,
but
it's gonna sell with the
our
It's
type
actually
is-
bigger. It's actually bigger.
our type is it comes with a special pair of pants with a bigger pocket.
The
Our
pants
type
were
is-
also bigger.
it comes with special gaming pants.
Pants are $100.
Special.
Nintendo gaming pants.
You can't carry this without the pants. You
Sorry.
gotta buy the pants.
I got great news for you. The
300
system is
bucks or
$200
$300
and just $100 for the pants. That's it. One size fits
Special
all.
And they have to be
Game
within
satchel
5
pants.
feet of the pants for it to turn on.
It's like a key fob. Yes, our type was exactly right. There's a huge audience of parents that will get this for their kids. The 3DS
So
was
they
the
can get
exact
their little
same way.
grubby paws off my Switch.
So yeah, exactly. Nintendo has said multiple times they'd like households to be multiple Switch households, and that's already happened now. But with this, no doubt about it. Yeah, this thing's
Switch implant.
gonna sell. But as I said already, the Switch is still selling ridiculously well. It's #1 every month, almost everywhere except the UK. So
What's up with those guys?
UK's PlayStation territory,
Mhm.
because they're very big into sports
Oh,
games
she
over
must
there.
be from there.
But if you break your Switch, you can put it in the dock, like the screen.
if you break
probably.
the screen, you can drop it in a dock and still play on TV.
But this
yes.
one you cannot.
you cannot. No,
That's why you need the pants. Protect it.
that's
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
All right. I'm with
Okay.
you.
So are we going to do this thing now where one of us goes into a store and asks for the pants? Or,
That'd be so great. I'll
Uh,
take the Switch Lite and
Can we do a Go Nintendo on the
where are
road?
your pants?
I didn't see the pants out here. Nintendo has
you out of
also made a
pants?
point to say, as I said, this Switch Lite has a D-pad on the left-hand side rather than face buttons like a regular Joy-Con does. And Nintendo has no plans or nothing to announce about adding a D-pad to the regular Joy-Con. So there are Joy-Cons out there that offer a traditional D-pad, but they're not first party, they're third party. If you want a solution from Nintendo, then you're not getting it.
Here's a question.
Hori is the company that has it now.
I think Vitamin G wants to chime in.
Can I chime in?
Hori. Yeah, go ahead.
What is second party? It's all first party and
Second
third party.
is
What's
a
second party.
Second party is a developer that
Saturday.
works
First party's on
mostly.
Friday night, second party's on Saturday night.
Old type R reading my
I got,
brains.
I got the invite to the first party, but I haven't heard on the second party yet.
Party's on
All
Friday,
right, so
second
first
party's
party,
on
let's
Saturday.
talk in terms of video game developers. First party is Nintendo. Third party is Activision. Second party is a company that works mainly with a first party developer on their property. So, like if Nintendo needs help, like say on Luigi's Mansion
Let's
3
say
is coming to the
pants,
Switch.
maybe.
Nintendo's working with Luigi's Mansion, is working with Next Level Games to co-develop Luigi's Mansion 3. So Next Level Games is still their own thing,
Mhm.
but they have a working relationship with Nintendo, not to publish, but to actually co-develop.
An
with
open
them.
relationship.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Hello, God Mode. Thanks for joining. I'm sorry.
Put your keys in this bowl.
Thanks for joining us, God Mode.
Got it.
There you
it.
go. Yeah, it
Thank
is.
you.
It is. You never hear people talking about second parties because it's just who's developing this game. Nintendo and Next Level are. So.
Got it.
And I said that. First comment comes from Hayawada. He says, the feature that the original Switch needs most from the Switch Lite is the more efficient processor. Yes. There.
Do you ever read the second party comment?
I mean, I could. You want me to do that
I
from now
just
on?
feel like if I was the second person, I'd be like, shh.
Watch it.
So close.
Watch it's Autumnal Blake.
Come
It
on.
might have been.
I got him.
Knock him off his throat.
Oh, I got him.
This is another one for you, R-Type. There was at a time during the GameCube era where Nintendo and Namco, at the time it was just Namco,
Not Bandai Namco.
not Bandai Namco,
Bandai
were
Namco.
considering a sequel to Earthbound.
Wow.
And it was actually pitched to Nintendo, and it was pitched to Shigesato Itoi, the creator of Earthbound, and they just ended up not doing it. But the developer who used to work at Namco and now works at Monolith Soft, which Nintendo owns now, showed off stuff from that pitch. They showed off like a real life diorama that they put
Wow.
together to pitch the game, and they
That's
also
cool.
showed off like mock screenshots, and they were going to go with
more
like a
scratch and sniff stickers.
toy style model style approach. Like it's still very Earthbound, but like those are all like physical items that they were going to create to make the game.
Like I saw that somewhere.
So yes, it didn't come to be,
Bummer.
and obviously we've only gotten one Earthbound since then on the GBA, Mother 3, which never saw localization,
Right.
unfortunately.
Too weird. That's why I like it.
Too weird. But yeah, I can see why Nintendo didn't do this at the time because yes, the GameCube was far enough removed from the Super Nintendo era, but the stigma of Earthbound, the sting of Earthbound not selling well on the Super Nintendo was still fresh enough in Nintendo's mind. So, Impure Kind says should make one now, even if it's just a modern remake or one or all of the previous games in the series for Switch. The style, something like that seen in the new Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening game would work pretty well. Yeah, that's good. Or basically kind of similar to the character model seen in the early game instruction booklet. Nintendo, I really don't think would ever create a Earthbound or Mother installment without not just the blessing of Shigesato Itoi, but also his collaboration, because that series is his baby. He's worked on all of them, and he doesn't feel that it's time to make a new one, so he's not. But yeah, they would never go ahead and do that without him. They just wouldn't. If you're looking for a giant Switch, so we have the Switch Lite, the smaller one, a regular Switch,
Bigger pants.
or a Switch XL.
I can't stop thinking about these pants.
Nintendo wants you to know
Special
that
Jinkos.
that's not the only thing they have planned for this year is the Switch Lite. CNET had an interview with Nintendo's president,
John
Doug.
CNET?
His name is John CNET.
That's CNET's music.
It's funny because Cena's worked with Nintendo multiple times. CNET had an interview with Nintendo's president, Doug Bowser, and CNET had this to say. That's his real name. That's his real name. CNET says the Lite isn't a sequel to the Switch. It's more of a lower cost spin-off. It'll also be the only Switch hardware this holiday, as
Don't think about
Bowser
the pants, Vitamin G. Just don't think about the pants.
as Bowser says, the larger Switch won't get an upgrade right now.
Oh God, why did you say it like that?
Because I knew it was going to be
Doug.
funny.
Bowser.
His brother Tom Wario.
Wario.
And Mike Mario.
Like Mario.
Mike Mario. Founder of Nintendo, Mike Mario, today has shocking news.
Mario. Yeah, let me get this right.
Like
Mario was
Mario.
named after
Prefers Mike.
the landlord of the
Luigi.
the building where they stored all of their product
Plumbing
back in the day.
supply.
Really?
Yeah, he was
Was
the
it a
landlord
plumbing?
of the warehouse.
The
Not a plumber?
plumbing warehouse.
The landlord of Michael Samus.
And Kirby was named after the lawyer who defended Nintendo in a lawsuit from Universal about Donkey Kong. He won the case for them, and they wanted to pay tribute to him, so they named
Really?
Kirby after that guy.
That's a cool
His
story.
name wasn't Kirby.
His name was Little Pink Roundman.
Thanks so much for your help, Pink Roundman.
Suck, Pinky Roundman.
Ice has the top rated comment. He says, yes, not right now anyways. I've got my PR goggles on. Yeah, if Nintendo was working on a Switch XL, there's no way they're going to announce the Switch Lite and then be like, yeah, we're doing something else too. They want the Switch Lite to be in the spotlight right now. So Fat Mish.
Also pants.
Fat Mish and Autumnal Blake want you to know that wasn't his name. It was actually Suckman. Mr. Suckman.
Pink Suckman here.
Can't
defend your case. I'll do it pro bono.
Nintendo also wants you to know that even though the Switch Lite is coming out and has less features than the Switch, they're not going to stop focusing on the Switch's features with their own games. So they're going to make games that use HD Rumble and the IR sensor and all the other things that the Switch Lite or the Switch does. They're focusing on that, but they'll also be playable on the Switch Lite. So don't worry, they're not abandoning those things. Now, as far as third parties,
We get another
Who the hell
Mario
knows?
Land.
I like the look you gave me. We get another Mario Land.
If you know what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Like Mario Land.
You know,
Like
like,
Super Mario
like
Land?
7 golden coins.
Oh, that would be the sequel. 'Cause
Right.
It was 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, we got it.
6-minute ads.
It was Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land.
Oh, well, that guy was a jerk.
Wario, he was a jerk. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a jerk.
still is a jerk. Autumnal Blake says
Wait, why
that's
am I not remembering that?
that's good to hear. We're not going to be getting less games with HD Rumble support. You don't remember the first Wario Land game? That's Wario Land came from Super Mario Land.
No, I know.
Was that first on Game Boy?
It was.
Yeah.
Still
Wario's
still have
birth
it.
That was
was
a great
on
game.
Game Boy.
Great game.
What, the Wario Land game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those games are such a great mix of just great platforming, but also really weird crap. Like
And then-
Wario is a weird character.
And then the WarioWare games.
And those are even
so
weirder.
weird.
Yeah.
Like,
We should play that.
let's do it.
The WarioWare on Wii. Smooth moves.
Wario
my God,
WiiWare.
It's so good.
You like that Wario WiiWare?
Also, there was Made in Wario, the game that lets you make your own WarioWare games, which was
Wow.
fantastic.
Wow.
Wow.
We don't need to do
Wario,
that. We don't
wow.
need to do that. So
Wario,
Nintendo announced
wow.
this. Hey, wow! Hello, Kevin. Nintendo.
Is that an anchor? Does that bring you back?
Hello, pal.
Say hello to myself. Bring it in, Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
Nintendo, surprisingly, which this never happens, made investors and analysts happy with this announcement. And Nintendo's stock shot up to its highest level since October 2018 because of this announcement. Nintendo's investors and analysts are so weird because Nintendo will announce things that fans love, and the investors are like, nope, tank it, not going to go anywhere. And no matter how well Nintendo does, they're always like, nope, this is one of the first times in recent memory where both sides are happy. So it makes me think this thing's going to flop because that'd be it.
Yeah, right.
But yes, their stock shot up to a level they haven't seen since October 2018. And as I said, Switch is already doing well. Analysts think that this is going to be a really big hit, like you said, with kids and parents who are looking for something portable. So Autumnal Blake again says, I'm with them on that. This has potential to sell like pancakes. They're called pancakes. Enderpy has the second comment.
And what is that
They're
one?
called
They say
pancakes
talk
in
about
Australia?
Pachter on Go Nintendo. Yes, I broke my rule to talk about super analyst Michael Pachter, who I haven't
Michael
talked about in
Pachter?
years.
What?
Mike Pachter.
His
Mike
name is Mike
Pachter?
Pachter, yeah.
He invented the trash compactor.
He
Hmm.
I stopped talking about him on Go Nintendo because he badmouthed Nintendo's president right after he died.
Oh,
I was like, you're an ass.
you got to do that before they die. Bro.
Yeah. Hey, talk bad about them all you want when they're alive. When they're dead, and this was like a week after he died, he was saying bad stuff about him. I was like, dude, have a little couth.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, North America this week's
Wait,
downloads.
who is Mike Podacter?
I don't know who Mike
Roger
Podacter is.
Roger Podacter.
Mike Pachter.
His name was
Mike Pachter is a analyst that focuses on video games.
Oh.
He works for
John Tron.
Wedbush Morgan.
John Cena.
John Cena. Yeah,
John Cena.
famous wrestler John Cena.
Oh, that guy said we didn't need soundboard. That's right.
It's pretty good. All right, these
They
are
are
two
zany.
annoying lists. Let me get through them. North America. This is what came out this week in North America. God Eater 3. All these are Switch unless I say so. Dr. Mario World is on mobile. So that is not a Switch game. Dragon Quest Builders 2, Ninja Spirit, Blazing Chrome, Bleep Bloop, got a demo. Bouncing Bullets, Dead in Vinland, Desktop Bowling, Distrust,
Creamy missiles.
Doodle God, Crime City, that's all one thing. Eagle Island, Forklift, The Simulation,
What?
Laser Kitty Pow Pow.
I mean, do these count as games?
Yeah.
You say they had 2,400 titles.
they're games.
and
yeah.
there's Forklift the Simulator.
This is not a joke. Those simulator games sell like crazy.
Well, la-di freaking
I
da.
can understand like airplane, but a forklift.
Oh, airplane. Yeah, the simulator games are among Steam's top selling games. Like
I mean,
Tractor Trailer Simulator, Farming Simulator,
I don't
Truck
know.
Simulator.
Is
Yeah,
it
they're
for, like quadriplegics. Or something?
I understand that, technically
terrible.
speaking, they are games. Yes.
And they sell well.
qualify.
They
Yeah.
simulate having a good time.
I
but
don't
you're
know.
not actually.
This
having
is
a good
like-
time.
This is like Villager being a character in Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, wait, I'm not lying to you. They do really well.
I know they do well,
He
but I
just
still don't
doesn't
think they're
like it.
games.
Yeah, I know. It's just they're not games you would play,
So,
but they're games.
How do you how do you win the game?
you
You
well,
fork a
depends
lift.
if I guess you stock the warehouse.
You're not fired this week. Here's a gold star.
Like they
Here-
specifically sell giant controllers for computers that replicate what you would have in those vehicles. This isn't like a niche thing. This is a big deal.
I'm not contradicting you.
You just don't think they should exist.
I just think it's odd to qualify everything that appears on a Switch as a game.
Well,
It
they
seems
don't.
like they're padding their stats. Is what I'm saying.
It's a game. Oh, it's a game. What do you mean? Like it's a game.
It's for entertainment purposes.
They don't count the things that are apps.
It's not.
which
It's
are
not.
games.
It's not a training.
Farming
thing, you know?
simulator, whatever simulator is a game.
I mean, there was that bass.
Maybe the way you shop.
Listen, I'm not saying yes, Lanquin suggests the podcast simulator. We do that.
Can we play Forklift 2000? Whatever
Anyway,
it's called?
I have a couple of simulator games, yeah.
Do you have the forklift like
No,
booth
I have like
to play it with?
I have one of the truck ones, but I don't do what you're supposed to do. You're like, park the truck over there, and I like take it out on the highway and just drive over things.
I guess what I'm saying is,
I hate
it's odd to me to put something like Super Smash Brothers, which took years and years and years to develop, and it's huge and it is complicated and complex, and there's tons of different game modes, and
Hi, Elfman.
Forklift Simulator
Yeah.
in the same
The
category.
title really spoils the
It's-
whole game.
It's like 1-to-1. It doesn't seem to make sense to
I
me.
mean, like I would.
I guess what I'm
I
talking
get
about
what you're
is
saying,
the
but-
Electoral College needs to be reformed.
I get what you're saying, but I would wholeheartedly disagree. I understand like what you're saying. I just disagree with it. Getting back to games that are, I
And
mean,
now
like,
back to the
regardless
news.
of how much time or how many developers are on a game. Thank you. I say it's a game. Like it's a game. There's plenty of people who say visual novels don't count as games.
There's plenty of people
And-
that think that
Agreed.
we're in a game right now.
I agree with
And there's
those
plenty of
people.
people who would say walking simulators aren't games.
Excuse me.
I couldn't agree more.
What?
But
What?
Myst would be a walking simulator.
No, well, that's not.
What?
Well, there
no,
you go.
that's not a game.
It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle
That's not
game.
walking simulator. Speak up when you're talking about walking simulator. It's
What do you mean? Myst is a
forklift
walking-
Wait.
forklift simulator. You're driving a forklift. Walking simulator makes it sound like you're walking.
Well,
That's
it's
what I
a genre of games. Yes,
But then
your
there's
method
puzzles.
of transportation. Yeah. So what do you say? There's things you do in a forklift simulator that are also gameplay mechanics.
Vitamin G, you're not getting much love in the comments section.
So there's
right now.
like
okay.
so there's like
surprise.
magical elements in Forklift Simulator, like mystery.
No, I mean
and-
we play plenty of games that aren't like Call of Duty doesn't have magical elements. Does that make it not a game?
no. I'm just. I guess I'm a little weirded out about calling Myst a walking.
Yeah,
Simulator,
I agree.
rather
How
than
do you
like
get around
it's
in
like
that
a
game?
mystery
puzzle
puzzle
game.
or
Yeah, it is a walking
Like-
simulator with puzzle elements. There's like
well, then why didn't you say
So
that?
because
it's one big genre.
So isn't Mario really then a jumping simulator with fun elements?
I mean, yeah, this is the argument.
No. You were
This is-
supposed to say no.
This is the argument. This is the argument we could have, which is exactly why I think
Oh, it's a plumbing simulator with toadstools.
it goes into a whole conversation of gatekeeping games, which I think is so dumb. If it's on a game system and you technically play it,
It's
you
bad.
use a controller for inputs in the game,
bad to game.
then it's a game.
Gatekeep, guys.
Yeah,
Bad.
gatekeeping
Don't-
games is dumb. Like you may hate the game,
Don't
you may never play it, you may think it's not a game, but
Well, I guess what I'm saying is it seems inflated to me. It
Hmm.
seems like when you say you have 2,400 games and you count Breath of the Wild, Super Smash Brothers, and Forklift Simulator.
so
as-
that's what you're saying.
They're less than.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're counting them
I
as a
think-
lesser game. Yeah,
Like,
Agreed.
they're like
Yes.
associate games.
but I don't say that.
Yeah,
I'm
games
saying
should
that's
be
what
in
you're
here.
they're like
Two
So what would
games
you-
and 3,000
so what would you-
simulators.
ex officio.
Hold on,
games.
hold on. What would you call them then?
Bitter cartridges.
I don't know, but like that stat bothers me because it's misleading. I guess is
I
what
would say 1,000,000% it's not. You just don't consider that type of game a game.
No,
about-
I'm buying in. I buy that it's a game.
Yes.
I get what
Yes,
you're
great.
saying.
Yes.
I
Good conversation.
think that's that stat. They're artificially inflating a statistic to make it sound like they're pumping out all this content when that content does not take nearly as long as
Can we
something
get
like
a-
Breath
can we
of
get
the
a
Wild.
break-
That's
breakdown?
not fair. You don't know that. There's one indie developer who worked on a game for 7 years.
Well, that's their problem.
Would you say like, and it looks like a Super Nintendo game. So,
Okay,
and it's
all right.
about farming. So you would say that's not a game?
Again, I've told you that
Okay, sorry.
I
You would
agree
say
that
it
it's a
shouldn't be
game.
qualified, or it shouldn't be counted in that number, or that number should have a little asterisk and say like some of these were made by small teams and
No,
Didn't take as
you-
much
you're-
time.
You're talking. You're putting words in my mouth. You're making me sound like I'm belittling people for developing games that are not as good.
so
What
how
I'm-
would you qualify them?
I don't know. All I'm saying is it
Looks
just,
like Magic of the Seven, Mario of the Seven Stars just did.
What do you call
Does it have what?
He says
Objectives
it has
and
objectives
rewards.
and
Does it have a-
rewards.
Does it have a jetpack?
So like
Rewards.
farming simulator or whatever, forklift simulator
Like I
has
said,
all that.
a game is. I agree with you now. I'm in. I'm all in. Forklift Simulator is a game. Thank you. You've convinced me. But I don't know. I feel like it feels artificially inflated.
You should
to
take
me.
it up with Michael.
That's
Bowser.
what I'm
Can-
trying.
Are you able to obtain some statistics in terms of how many are what
What
vitamins you would
do
call
I qualify as a real game?
You're again saying real
No,
game.
like you say it's inflated, but where do I draw the line?
I don't know, but it's just
I don't know what to do.
Where
I'm
does
not-
your
I'm
hand
not, I'm
end
not
and
saying
your
anyone
arm
needs
start?
to do anything. I'm not saying anyone needs to
Does
do
a paper
anything.
towel tube have one
You're
hole or
following me,
two?
right?
I feel you. Vitamin G
Exactly.
just don't like it.
I think that's what I'm
And
getting at.
and that's okay. You don't
Yeah,
have to
that's
like
totally
it.
fine. I wouldn't play the game either. I get it. Like I wouldn't sit down and play forklift.
One-to-one
Simulator.
comparison is an unfair thing. I think. when
But you're
talking
saying
about-
one-to-one comparison just with the blanket term of game.
maybe I don't know.
Then I don't know.
You ever drive
I
a
don't know
car
what
with
to say.
sunglasses on?
You don't need to say anything. I'm just voicing my opinion.
No, that's fine. I think it, like he said, I think it's an interesting
I don't
conversation.
need anyone to convince me
No,
of anything.
No, I think it's an interesting conversation. I'm very into it
I
because
agree.
there is this discussion happens in games all the time. There's people who would defend the simulator games to no end, but they would say stuff like Myst or oh god, what's it called? Firewatch
Right.
aren't games because they focus on telling a story and you walk between locations.
Is Firewatch like the Yule log you can put on during Christmas on your TV? Is that
Now,
Firewatch?
see, that's something Nintendo doesn't include in their list of games. There is a honest to God Yule log application that is not something you play. You just put it on your screen, but you can download it on a game console. So that is not included.
So okay, let's say you were.
Thanks, Fat.
What
He's
Fatty
leaving.
say?
How
Goodbye,
dare
Fat.
you?
Hey, see a fat man.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks,
Fat. Next
That's enough
topic.
of that.
Let's say I was joking about the electoral college.
I want to say this before you get into this. When Nikki Hill gets into these conversations, everybody knows Nikki Hill is mad. I want to stress that we are not mad at each
No,
other.
no, not at all.
Everybody's like, "Oh, Nikki's getting mad," and they're right. He is. We
No, he's absolutely getting mad. That's what's
anyway.
happening.
These are the kind of conversations I love. I love talking about stuff like this.
Let's say
Gaming
Oh,
philosophy.
God, now Dale says, "Is life a game?"
Yeah,
start.
Dale.
That's next podcast.
Dale.
That's next podcast.
the electoral
DM me,
college. I
Dale.
was joking about that,
Are
right?
you gonna
I
go
was.
back
It is a
into
joke.
But let's say every state had one vote to decide, a new amendment.
Sure.
Right? That's obviously not how government works. I'm not an idiot.
What?
That's
right?
true.
But let's just say that was the rule,
Okay,
Mhm.
I said it.
right?
Rule.
And so we're going to say that California and New York have the same amount of juice as like a North Dakota,
What did you
Juice.
just?
I'm,
Oh,
fol-
Montana.
I'm following you. Sure.
Oh.
right? So they are all still states,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? And I'm not diminishing there are great people in every state.
Simulators should just have fewer electoral votes.
Correct. We
Okay.
should establish an electoral college
Back to my original point.
The only way to simplify this is
see.
is to come.
May I chime in?
Please.
I believe that anytime you manipulate something on a screen, that's a game. Just my
like when I
input.
paid my mortgage. That was not a fun
So
game.
I mean,
Back
does
to
that
Dale.
count changing the channel on your TV as a game?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. That's
No.
anotally conversation.
No, you're
I
not.
get- I
no, 'cause
totally get what you're
No,
saying.
because I can't go in
I
and
will-
interact with it. It's an
Is-
interactive.
is cheerleading
manipulation.
a sport?
I personally think they're all just base level games. I don't think the number is inflated, but I 100% recognize that certain genres of games
That's so silly.
provide less traditional interactions in them than your Mario or your Halo
Right.
or your Zelda or something like that. Yes. So I don't think the number is inflated, but yes, I think there are specific genres that need a unique qualification.
Inflated might be the wrong word, but if I was to purchase a Switch and they said it had 2,400 games,
Mhm.
and the first two games I got were like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey.
Mhm.
Two for
Like,
two.
Whoa, is every game like this?
Two for two.
And then I find out that, of the 2,400, 2300 are,
what it's like to be a fish.
very, very small, very short games, not taking anything away from how long it took to develop them.
Mhm. Just
it's
as a
somewhat-
consumer,
it's somewhat
gameplay,
misleading.
the amount of
Because
gameplay
they're
is gonna
clearly
work.
using that statistic, is my point.
Yeah.
To bolster the strength of this system as a carrier of.
Yeah. Also, I want to
do-
throw this out that this is the same like statistic that all. This isn't like a Nintendo specific thing. This is what
Yeah,
everybody
do-
does. We're not like
but
we're
they're
not ragging on
used-
Nintendo.
That statistic is being used for that purpose.
Yeah.
To say,
Yeah,
that-
I mean, yeah, and I would say that's fine, and you would say that's not fine, and that we don't agree is also
So
fine.
it's
it's
industry,
also fine.
so it's industry practice, and it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Because
do you know how much gameplay in hours something like Forklift Simulator
those
has?
games on average have more hours of gameplay than your traditional game. Yeah, because you run like
because you
a
got to
season.
you have to
or
go to
something.
training, and you have to go to OSHA
like
meetings.
you run like
You're
jobs in the
apprentice.
game. Yes, like those games have technically any game
you get
could be
laid
lim-
off,
Technically,
and
any
you sit
game
on a couch
could
for
be
a virtual
limitless
week.
because you can
Pay
play
union
any game you
dues.
want. You can play any game you want a million times over. But like something like those games where you're basically working a job in
It's
a
for
game.
people who are so rich they
are
miss having a
endless.
job, and they're like, I'm going to go to my
I
job.
mean, like flight simulators have been really popular for a long time.
That I understand, and I'm familiar with those. Those have been around for as long as PCs have
So
been
like
around.
it's the same
And
thing.
I
but
remember
it's
having friends, parents who were big into them, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's a thing for adults that adults like." It's very technical and
yes,
whatever.
yes.
But a forklift simulator strikes me as being a little different.
Well, see, that's it. It's the exact same thing. It's just not the same vehicle. Like you're doing the same thing.
Right. So
You're
it's
just not flying around the world. You're
yeah.
inside a warehouse.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yes.
So you're flying
And
a
like-
jet,
and
the
well,
thrill
you
of
know,
flight versus the thrill of
Yeah.
blue collar.
And a lot of
living.
people that say they
the thrill of
a lot
warehouse
of people that
living.
say they like simulator games say they just like things where they can like zone out kind of and get into like a groove of something, and it
Yeah,
just
I
takes their
understand.
minds off
I
of
get
yeah,
what's going
kinesthetic
on.
people. It
Yeah.
makes sense. They're
Something that
active in
just
something.
lets their mind drift.
Yes.
away.
If you
Some people like to
manipulate
read, some people
virtual
like to
reality,
simulate
that's a
forking.
game. It's that simple. In my
I see what you're
opinion.
saying. I could agree with that.
What about pinball simulator? Because the thing it's simulating is a game.
So
Where would we
Whoa.
classify
for
that?
that for that Nintendo
That's a double game.
for any
It's a
pinball
double
game
game.
for any pinball game, Nintendo counts that as two games.
Yeah, that's two. That's
We have
definitely two.
4,800 games all of a
Same
sudden.
as like any
They're all pinball simulators.
any sports game is counted as two games.
Every mini game in a Zelda is
Yeah,
a new
see,
game.
this is like my personal pet peeve about all of this stuff in the industry is we have people who talk about it but aren't accepting as in the way you are. They'll say like indie games aren't games and they suck. It's not just like indie games aren't my thing. They shouldn't exist. It's like these shouldn't be on
I
the
love
platform.
the fact
They
that
shouldn't
people
be
have
here.
passion projects that that create games they wanted to see on the systems they grew up with.
Yeah,
And for me, those are the systems I grew up with. And to see stuff that is like you were saying, new chiptune,
yeah.
like old like saga stuff that
Obviously
we
a
would have
game.
loved. Right. Obviously a game. So that argument I totally don't get. I think that's just people who are butthurt about not being able to play,
Some
FPS
people play
all the time.
exactly. Some
Right.
people only think or only want first-person shooters
Right.
and sports games,
Right.
and anything outside of that, they're like, "This is a waste."
Well,
But
then
this
they
is
got,
the
then they got
whole
into the game like in the past 15 years because
this
that's
is the
not what gaming
whole
was for the first 30
discussion
years
that
of
goes
gaming.
on right now. What is an indie game? What is a video game in general? Like, it's a whole. It's not a discussion that needs to be had.
Well,
I
because
agree
There's
with you.
games that you play
I
and you
think
like,
it's
and there's
just
games that you
content.
don't play.
Right.
It's
Especially- and
content
that-
for the system.
Right.
That's
and
it.
now the fact that there's gaming
Maybe
on
instead I
cell
think this is
phones and the
solution.
blurred line between apps and gaming on handheld.
Maybe instead of saying
handheld,
games,
but
it should
cells.
say titles.
That
2,400
would be-
titles.
Yeah.
I actually like that better.
We did it.
Yeah. Yep.
We,
Actually
we
like that
did it,
better.
guys.
Can I
We
drop?
did it.
Can I drop one of these mics?
No, please don't.
Oh.
We've already had that once.
I think, and I feel like they have done that. In the
I don't
past.
know.
Wait a
You
minute,
guys,
Jet,
yeah,
what-
they interchange them. Yeah,
Well, I think we should do
Um,
title.
it's just in
that, Bowser?
in the most recent, like in the last 15 years or so, the scope of what games can be has greatly expanded.
Yeah.
So the terminology. There was just an article that came up the other day about how Metroidvania is a terrible term, and we shouldn't describe games like that because nobody knows what it means. And I said, really,
Right, autonomous.
in the game industry, we have all kinds of terminology that people outside of games don't know what it means. You were telling me the story about RPG. You, when you were a kid, didn't know what it meant. You
Blew
turned
my
to your
mind.
parents and they were like, we don't know what the hell that means.
Pre-internet. I bought the Game Boy. It was like the official Nintendo Game Boy guidebook of all the games they had published, because there was no internet. This is what's available to you, and there were different sections. Each was color coded. There was like arcade, there was sports, and then there was just RPG. I'm like, I have no idea what that means. And I was like, Mom, Dad, what's RPG? They're like, we don't know. And I don't. Who knows how many years before I found out what that was.
Yeah, I mean, much of games like that, or much of games today, are still like that. We have the internet to look it up, obviously, but
It means run,
like,
please
you know,
go, right?
MMORPG. Somebody outside of the game industry isn't going to know what that means, or somebody that doesn't follow games won't know what that means, or like a shoot 'em up. What's the difference between a beat 'em up and a fighting game?
Shump.
What?
Yeah.
I said that in my video. It's like
Shump.
shmup. Who's going to know what a shmup is?
Shoot 'em up.
I think what you said actually summed it up for me pretty well, which was, you know, back when we were initially getting into games, and when gaming was not gaming, but the systems that
Titling?
that hosted the games were very limited in their.
Yes.
You could only do so much,
Yep.
and everyone was maxing out what you could do.
Yeah,
in
the
everything.
hardware
And-
limited the scope
right.
of what you could do by
And
very
so-
much.
So because of that, there was the baseline was still relatively close to what you could do.
Yep.
Actually, with the hardware. Now you can make a game like Breath of the Wild, or you can make an 8-bit
Yeah.
game.
Plus, on top of that, as he was saying, like through digital distribution, it opens up development to so many more people
Right.
who don't have
Yeah.
the means or ways to get a
Right.
game out
And
at a retailer.
And I grew up where every game felt
Hi, Drew.
the same in scope.
Yep. And they tried to make them the
size.
same. It's like, here's
We're
a fun new
back.
character. Here's Bubsy. Here's Rocket Knight. Here's another Mario in another form. you know,
I'd buy
playing
that
a
for
similar
$1.
type game. You collect the.
I'd buy
banana
that
or
for
whatever.
$1. Says, I want to hear Rummead's dad explain what a Metroidvania is. Put that up on the Patreon. Now that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
I'd
That's
buy that
actually
for
good.
$1.
You should definitely do that.
He
And I don't know is not an
You should
acceptable
make like
answer.
a drunk history, but with your dad
And he doesn't
talking
need to
about
drink.
gaming.
Yeah.
But him so
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
dad history. I mean, the episodes will be like 7 hours long.
Do your parents have podcast names?
The people call them Raw Mom and Raw Dad. My mom has been on.
Does your
My
mom
dad has
like
not.
Wrong mom.
I derailed this big time, so I apologize.
I think this is good content.
No, seriously, I'm
This
not.
has been a good title.
You know, I'm always honest. I would tell you, I seriously love this discussion. I don't get to have enough of this kind of discussion. I think it's important to have. I think it's fun. I think it's good content. It's been one of my favorite podcasts, easily. It's been great.
We did it.
I'm gonna I'm
Now
gonna
drop that mic.
skim through the
$1.
rest of the news very
$1.
quickly to see if there's anything in very particularly big to mention. But I want to make sure we get to questions.
I have a question.
What's
Chime
a
in.
Metroidvania game?
Here, very quickly, Square Enix is considering potentially doing a
Chrono
remake
Trigger.
of Dragon Quest IX,
Oh,
which was on the DS, and they said if they do it, they'll do it for the Switch. And then finally today we had confirmation of a rumor: Fire Emblem Three Houses, which comes out on the Switch in a couple weeks, is going to have same-sex relationships, which is something that previous installment. I don't think previous installments have had, but people were wondering if they would this time because relationships are a big part of the Fire Emblem games. And this one, it was confirmed. It was rumored there for a while. We don't know what characters it is because the game's not out yet, and there's embargoes, but they're doing it.
It's definitely Marth.
The Fire Emblem series, you would love. You have to play Fire Emblem.
it's a game.
Amazing. It's a game. Yes,
I don't know.
100%.
It's a nice title of
Does it
content.
simulate being on fire?
It's a TOC.
Here, let me set
a
the
talk.
scene. You're in a forklift. You go.
Fire. It's on fire.
In ancient times.
You have to go. You have to navigate through fire
There's an
on a
ancient-
This is the
forklift.
name.
There's an ancient forklift.
This is your forklift.
There's
It's called the
runes.
Fire Emblem.
And you're stocking emblems for Crate and Barrel.
Oh my god! And that's why it's 3 houses. We got 3 different houses that need to be stocked with these Fire Emblems. So how
Wow, we just made a
we
game.
did it, guys.
We're
We did it.
developers.
New game.
Yeah,
New
I'll
game.
have to talk to you
New
like
game.
outside of podcast about Fire Emblem. I really think it'd be up your alley.
Marth's a real pain in the ass in Smash Brothers.
But when
so-
you
Don't worry, he's not in this one.
Okay.
So.
famous for permadeath,
Famous for permadeath, but not a feature that you're locked into in the newer games.
yeah,
They do something that says,
to broaden the
"Are you
appeal,
new to the franchise?"
support to the states.
not
That's
wanna deal
probably
with
one of the
permadeath?
things.
Yeah.
that-
Permadeath is in Fire Emblem, if you have a character that dies, they are dead forever.
They
You
dead.
can't bring them back. The story's altered because they're dead.
They
That's
dead
it.
dead.
Yeah, they dead. But that's how the series
Like
used
dead
to
for real?
be. For real.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
how the series
They
used to
find
be,
him
and that was
It's a real person with that name.
that was the only option.
Mike Marth.
Please,
Dead.
please enter a social security when creating your character.
Anyone will do.
But this time around,
Uh-oh.
you don't have to play that way. You can play without permadeath on. It's been like that for the most recent installments, which really opened up the franchise to people because a lot of people are afraid to play that.
People who like killing.
They don't want to put 20 hours into a character and have them die and can't get them back. So,
Yeah, because that wouldn't even be a game.
all right. Well, before we get to questions, let's talk about what we played. Anybody got something they
And
played they
let's
want to talk about?
We played.
And I'm out of tape.
Oh man.
Okay, so you're gonna think I'm nuts.
But I played Forklift
I
Simulator.
played with my nuts.
I should have said this at the start.
Don't get me wrong.
I played this simulator. I, for some reason, started playing The Witcher again.
Oh,
I never finished it because what happened was I started playing. I don't
Had a
think I got
baby.
past the. Yeah. I don't think I got past the initial world.
the initial
which-
portion,
Yeah.
which is huge.
which is very big.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening, which happens to me with many games, enough time passed that I went back into the game
Mm.
and I had no idea how to play. I had no idea what I was doing, no idea where I was. Like it was like, I don't know how to pull out the silver sword
Yeah.
versus the regular sword.
Yeah.
And I'm like, screw this.
As we all got, into our adult ages, I think that's happened to all of us because we're doing, back in the day, I could play games as much as I wanted whenever I
Right.
wanted and finish them quickly. Now you can't do that. So I've started writing notes on my phone for stuff, being like, I'm going here or this does that. And just so I can take a quick look and be like, okay, I'm back in it. But thanks. It happens all the time. It's a big complaint.
So I'm into that now. And I was playing the crap out of Smash Brothers. I finished story mode.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
I was
you.
going to call it Subspace Emissary, but that's not what it's called.
Um,
World of Light?
yes.
There you go.
And Captain Falcon is my dude.
Oh, he's your guy. Really?
my guy.
Nice choice. Fast-ish character.
Yeah.
A lot of power.
A lot of power.
Maneuverable.
Oh yeah.
He's a good one.
So those
He's
are
a fun one to play.
Raw, did you
He's
stick
been
with
really
King
fun,
K.
yeah.
Rule?
Yeah, I'm
You
sticking
did?
with King K. Rool.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been playing my cousins
I saw that
who
level
are
fair start.
amazing. And when I'm not playing as King K. Rool, we can split the wins evenly. When I'm playing as King K. Rool,
What
I'll
happened to
win
that? What happened to
very
that girl
rarely.
that got shamed when she won that tournament?
shame.
are you talking about news that just happened?
Yeah,
Wow. What are you doing?
I follow the Nintendo Reddit.
Wow.
You prep?
Yes.
You prep.
A
You prep.
professional.
I was
Smash-
one of the bullies. She dumb.
a professional. If only that were as nice as the comments were. She was a professional
beat me?
smasher. She beat someone who
14?
was a major
She was
player,
yeah.
and because she's a girl, the community was.
And she was using a what was it, something crossing with the Animal Crossing character.
I don't remember who she was playing
Yeah.
as, but she was playing as a low
Villager.
Oh,
Someone.
She was
She was playing as someone.
I'm joining the.
Give me that gamer tag.
Somebody in the chat will know. She was playing as somebody who was known as a low tier character, and she took out a major player. So of course, because she's a girl, unfortunately, the Smash Brothers community is terrible with that stuff. They
Mm.
were really misogynistic
That's
on
not
this,
good.
and
I mean, it is called Smash Brothers.
brothers, it's true.
Not Smash Sisters.
So
Get out of here.
yeah, she went on Twitter and she was
Supergirl.
like, I want to play to have fun. I'm either quitting altogether or I'm not going to play under this name. I'm going to
Or
go completely
option C.
anonymous, and that's it.
Forklift
Sex change.
simulator.
Yeah, I mean,
Ford-
simulator
forklift simulator.
exclusively.
Esports got to have rules.
So yeah, Isabel. She was playing as Isabel. There you go. So
Is
not
that an Animal
not
Crossing
not
character?
Villager, but from Animal Crossing. So yes, those think about that. She's young
Bless you.
as far as the community goes. She took out a major player as a character that's considered low tier, like bottom of the barrel.
Low
character.
power, like
Smash Brothers community has tier lists for characters that separated into
Kirby's
I forget
on the
what
bottom.
what
That's
the
why I had
tiers
to
are,
finally switch my
But
name.
Isabel was bottom tier, like
Where's
the
Falcon?
lowest tier. I don't know, to tell you the truth. I'd have to
Yeah,
look.
we were talking about.
Hey,
the-
chat
I
room,
think
where's
he'd
Falcon?
be-
Hey, Joey,
I don't know. I don't even want to venture a guess because I don't.
Thanks, bro.
Antonimo
I don't
Blake.
think-
Where's Falcon?
Antonimo. I don't know. I could look it up. I'll look it up after the podcast. I think of that joke all the time. All the time. I love that movie. But anyway, yes, that's what happened with her. So did not have a good ending as of where we're at right now. But
Bummer.
who knows what'll happen going forward. Witcher. You're playing Witcher. Perfect time to get back into The Witcher because Netflix's Witcher show is coming out later this year. Netflix is like, according to them, they're like, Game of Thrones is over. This is our shot. Like, let's go. Like they're saying this, we want to get in there and make, like, people are looking for something to fill that void. We're giving them Witcher, which is a universe that is more than capable of providing that.
And no one knew what Game of Thrones was.
It certainly had its fans, but not to the degree that they know now, without a doubt. And Witcher 3 is extremely popular, but again, not on Game of Thrones level. So Netflix is, hoping to turn this, according to what they're saying, they're hoping to turn it into their Game of Thrones thing.
For instance,
whether it's going to have
I'm
that
not
quality
familiar
in
with
writing or anything like that, it's I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. I'd like to hope, but video game translations to TVs and movies hasn't been all that great. Mortal Kombat being one of them. They just announced today that the
Street
new
Fighter, way worse.
Street Fighter, way worse. They just announced today that the new Mortal Kombat movie, yes, a new movie, they're starting off on the right foot. It's going to be rated R.
Okay.
That's a good sign.
Is Steven Seagal
R
in it?
for really
he
good.
plays all characters.
Sold.
Goro, all of them.
Eric Roberts?
Eric Roberts.
I take it back. Word just came
Steven
in.
Seagal plays Eric Roberts
Eric
in
Roberts.
Mortal Kombat.
Eric Roberts. I have exclusive information. Steven Seagal is going to play Goro, but the second set of arms is played by Julia Roberts' brother.
Julia Roberts' brother. Oh, man.
Oh, that's good.
We'll just go in this suit
So anyway,
together.
you're playing Witcher. You're back into it. You're
Awesome.
having fun. And Witcher is coming out on Switch later this year for someone who hasn't played it. Witcher is amazing. Witcher 3, but as far as most people are concerned, Witcher 1 and 2 don't exist just because they didn't play them. Witcher 3 is the one that really broke through. So, but yes, coming out on Switch later this year, which is really cool. Anybody else have anything they played they want to talk about on this side?
You played Baby Simulator, Baby Care Simulator.
There's a lot of those.
Definitely permadeath in Baby Care Simulator. So been trying to avoid that.
Here's a
Been winning so
Baby
far.
Simulator story for you. It was a spin-off of the Cooking Mama franchise.
Cooking babies? Jesus, come on.
I don't remember what it was called, but it came with an actual baby doll that you put the Wii controller in.
Any pants?
No pants. No pants. No mom pants. Mom jeans. Give her mom jeans.
Mama jeans.
You have a Switch. Have you been playing anything?
No, my son was bad and it's been hidden.
Yeah. You have Super Mario Maker 2 though.
I do.
Have you done any of the story in that?
No.
Or no? Oh man, you're gonna love it.
I was considering
Not the story
purchasing.
itself, but
I'm
the
excited,
levels.
yeah.
I was playing
I do
Super
wanna
Mario
play.
Run, but I was considering purchasing it, and I was like,
Oh, I like
no.
that.
I'll
That's a
just
fun
do
one.
something else.
And that's how it went for most people. If they had like 10% of the people that downloaded it to actually buy it, that annoys me so much because Nintendo, when they first went into mobile, was like, mobile is dominated by microtransactions.
And they went for the big
It
transaction.
shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
They said we want one purchase right off the bat, like a traditional
And it's
game.
not even that much. It's $10.
They said
but, like,
$10 will get you everything that's in the game from day one and everything that comes to the game after that.
Yeah.
A $10 purchase. And
I
people
will
were like,
never buy
nope.
that game.
Why? Okay,
Telling
but
you,
why? Okay, but why?
I bought it. I love it.
I don't think there's enough replay value in mobile games.
Oh, well, that one's got there's new stuff every week.
But if all you're doing is running,
You're not.
well, you jump too.
You do jump.
It's like a Mario.
Yeah,
It plays like a Mario game, except
Yeah.
you use a
automatically run.
forklift.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I go back to it.
No.
Some
Yeah,
of
the
it,
Mix
like-
10 mode in Mario Run is a blast. It's
is fun.
awesome.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're Daisy, and you're like, "Where'd that
But
come from?"
Mario Run has a regular traditional Mario
Right,
game in
and
it.
that's
Like
what
you
you-
go through the castles, you fight you fight the Koopa kids and Bowser and all that stuff. The only-
$10 to unlock because you only get the first stage free.
Yeah, which
then
they
you get-
switched to like the whole first world eventually.
Yes,
right.
I don't know. There's a mental block for me.
That's the thing.
Buying
Yes, I
buying
agree.
a mobile game
Yep.
for $10 seems insane.
You're right. That's exactly
that's-
right.
and that's- I
what
think that was
stopped
the- that
people.
was the-
Yeah.
There's a
But here's the
psychology. There's a psychological element here that they're not considering.
Well, that's the thing. They are considering, but they said they didn't want all of their games to do that. They said, we're going to do everything. Mario Run was their experiment where they went just one flat fee. Fire Emblem Heroes is your traditional microtransaction game. That they make ridiculous amounts of money on that
Bye,
game.
Bob.
And people are spending more than $10 a week on that game. But those are the same people that when it came to, I'll let you out. When it came to Mario Run, that wouldn't spend a $10. It's just they see the $10 and they're like, no, what are you kidding me? But if you like nickel and dime them every couple days here and there, they're cool with that. So it's.
I don't think anyone.
I think it's
Did
worth
they
the money.
did
not
they
sure
avoid
anyone-
that for the ethical issue that's going on, or
I'm not sure anyone can picture a mobile game that has enough replay value to be worth $10.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be completely honest here.
And that's not because it doesn't exist. It's because I don't think anyone can actually fathom that that's a possibility.
Well, like maybe like years ago, it was like that. But mobile games now, like there's the whole subset of like, like puzzle, Candy Crush and all stuff like that. But there's plenty of other games that are just regular
people
games.
see them as disposable.
Right.
It's free.
That's
you
what I
play
mean.
it for a month and then you delete it.
That's what I mean.
And that does happen. But those people are spending like hundreds of dollars on it in that time, which is
But-
crazy to me.
But
I've never
that's
played any
that's
microtransaction.
the psychological thing that they didn't understand, I don't think.
Well, that's the
right
thing.
now or $20 over
They-
2 years.
That's what I'm trying to say.
$20.
They did understand it. What they're saying is they didn't like it. So they wanted to try and change it. But they have other games that are a mix of traditional microtransactions. They have some games that are flat out microtransactions, like Fire Emblem. They
What
just put out
else?
Dr. Mario World, which is
Yeah,
microtransactions.
that-
They have Animal Crossing, which is you don't ever have to pay anything for it. It's free right off the bat and has microtransactions, but you don't need to spend anything. So they do a mix of all of them.
What you showed me that? Oh, it was at E3 that the Dr. Mario World info dropped, right? Want to see?
So we should get to questions.
Yes, I think it was.
Have we spent enough time on
I mean, I didn't
all
talk
the
about
things that I'm
when I played. I
Like,
don't feel bad. I love it.
sandbagging the show with?
Somebody right now is telling me I love you, RMC, and the GoNintendo community. This is great. Yeah, I think it's a shame because Nintendo. You're right there, bud. Nintendo tried to do away with that mindset, and they made money on that game certainly, but it wasn't like their percentage. Last I heard, less than 10% of the people that downloaded the game were converted into paid players, which is not optimal.
It was because of the soundtrack and the whoa whoa girl. You know what I'm talking about.
You're playing Remix 10, yeah. Oh, that song is so crazy.
It's inappropriate.
That
That's what
song
it
is might be the perfect mix of bad and good. It's a guilty pleasure for me.
I mean, I
Plus,
like
it's a remix of all the
I
other.
like the instrumental, but she blows it.
Oh, that's the bad. Yes, I agree. But the remix of classic Mario songs, I like.
I'm into that.
But it's kind of like Euro dance
Yeah.
music.
I know what you mean.
It's very weird, but I'm glad you know what song I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
I have listened to it before outside of the game, and and she'll sing, and I'll be like, "Why did they add that in there? Why did they make that decision?"
Why is she
I'll have to
doing
play it for you later.
I would
All
love to hear this.
I will definitely play. We'll do it for the after show.
Oh.
Very quickly. What did I play? Very quickie.
Very quickie.
I've been playing Super Mario Maker 2 again, only the storyline stuff because that's all I've had time for, and I honestly think that's all I've played. I'm pretty sure that's it. So I've already talked about that enough. Let's do a question. This question, oh no, I can't do that.
Tell me about simulators.
This question comes from
Autumnal Blake.
send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. That is GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo. They can be about video games in general or anything at all.
They
For
could be about
example,
Autumnal Blake.
Autumnal Blake says, this is more of a challenge than a question. Say the names of as many fruits as you can without repeating any or saying anything that isn't a fruit. Keep a moderate speed and try not to leave a gap between fruits. If you want, try it with the Smash roster. No, we're not doing that. Fruit, though. You want to do round table? I'll go for it.
But then we're
What?
Name a fruit.
But
Don't
then we're
copy
gonna-
somebody
we're
else.
gonna- that's
We can't repeat.
all right. I go first then.
No, let this guy go first.
Okay.
What? This guy?
Yeah, you.
Okay, kumquat.
That's the one you're going with after today's podcast. All right, banana. I'll do it.
That was mine, man.
All of us. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was
Right.
just one person
No.
at a time.
He did his. We're doing
Kumquat.
banana,
Apple.
Grapefruit.
Blueberry.
pear,
Date.
Peach.
Orange.
Tomato. It's a fruit.
Cherry.
Plum.
Plantain.
I wasn't paying attention. Blueberry?
I said that.
Did you?
Mm.
I'm out. Keep going.
Oh, we keep going.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
Raspberry.
Dingleberry.
Oh,
Hmm.
you're out.
Shizer.
Mango.
Gooseberry.
Oh.
Cantaloupe.
Cloudberry.
Watermelon.
Can I give him a hint? Can I give him a
No,
hint?
no. I'm sorry. Time's up.
Yeah,
That was the
it's
greatest
fair.
moment in
It's fair.
GoNintendo podcast history, I think. We got to play that every week.
I got stuck in the berries.
Great job.
Let's
Great
do it
job.
again, but
Vitamin-
this time with fruits. Banana.
Let's do it again, and this time you start with banana. Yeah. Nice job, Vitamin G.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Vitamin J.
Thank
You
you.
won this.
Oh my God, guys!
Lick
This
it.
happened
I'm
last
gonna
week.
and a
This
dollar.
happened
I'm gonna
last-
lick that.
You won this $1 and a lickable
Remo
game.
says greatest moment. This happened last week, and I have to announce it because it happened again. Lord Thanos is in the chat.
Whoa.
He's here. It was inevitable. He was going to
Should
show
any of
up.
us be worried?
All right. Well, that's this week's show. It was very long, but not our longest show. So thanks for watching live. Thanks for listening live. And to our audio listeners only, thank you very much for listening. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week. Mom Brain still won't be back, so no music, unfortunately. But until then, have a great week and a great weekend. Play some games, relax, have some fun with friends and family. You deserve it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
We're still live. Man, I was very nervous about getting that in there before. We are doing the we're doing the after show, which is like just 5 minutes while I export. So anybody in chat, any questions you got, anybody here, anything you want to talk about anything, go right ahead.
Yeah.
You can
play that.
continue the fruit game if you
Play that song.
Well, I have a
We should
question
do
I
it
ask
with-
a lot of
we should
people.
do it with
Tess-
cereal.
Tess
Oh,
says,
whoa.
good job, guys. Autumnal says, thanks, everyone. Oh, here you go. This is something me and you could do. Elfman says,
Touch dicks.
We can say that now.
spoiler for you could have said touch dicks during the podcast. Yeah. Oh, yes. No, I'm not going to say. Elfman says, spoiler-free impressions of Spider-Man Far From Home. We saw it together.
I know we disagree on this, but I liked the first one better.
And I might default to you on that because you saw them both in the same day.
Mm.
I do like the second one better. Not by a ton, but I did like it better. But I liked the mix. I felt it was a very even mix of Spider-Man in the suit and outside of the suit. Like they had a lot
I
of
agree.
outside of the suit.
I thought he was great.
He's fantastic. Yeah, he's
He was great. MJ was great.
yeah, she's good too.
I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was a little annoying.
Without spoilers,
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal in the beginning or in the first half of the movie was a little annoying to me, but we knew something was going to happen.
Right.
And in the second half, the way he acted in the second half made me
Yeah.
appreciate the first half a little bit more.
I
Without spoilers again, I feel like on purpose he was overdoing it in the beginning
yeah,
for
I can agree
point
with
of
that.
the plot. But that I talked about it with you. There's a particular scene with Mysterio where Mysterio first like gets into like really screws with Spider-Man. We'll say that scene blew me away. The way that was like shot and the stuff that Spider-Man goes through. I thought that was fantastic. Really cool.
I never like dream sequences in any TV show
Well,
or
then
any
you would
movie.
not like that. I get it.
It was just like any other
You know,
kind of dream sequence.
well,
to
if
me.
you don't like that, yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
In any movie or TV show, or I should really say in any game, I hate levels that are based on food. Hate them. So like the one in Odyssey, hate
Yeah.
it. Drives me nuts. Why? I couldn't tell you. I just don't like it. I wouldn't be like, this is a bad game because of that. I just say personally, I hate this. But what would you give the movie scale of 1 to 10?
Solid 7, approaching a 7. Maybe
I-
a little under a 7.
I would go an 8. So we're not far off from one. Yeah. Not by any means a bad movie. It was a good movie.
Good,
Fun movie.
solid superhero movie.
Yeah.
Worth
I liked
seeing in
it
theaters. I would say.
considerably more than Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
I didn't hate Captain Marvel, but I would give Captain Marvel like a 6.
I'd have him about the same.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I think you talk about Jake Gyllenhaal's acting. Brie Larson's acting drove me nuts. I thought she wasn't very
Not
good at
good?
all. I need to see her in another movie to see what she does with the next Captain Marvel before I officially decide. But what were you guys? You wanted to talk about something? I don't want to leave you out. We've had our conversation.
But we're only talking about Spider-Man
Yes.
Far From Home.
Do you want to add?
Yeah, you
Sorry.
were going to say something before the before we got into that Spider-Man talk.
So if you were going to be on a stranded island and you could have one item, unlimited supply of that one item, what would it be?
Lube.
What?
Hmm?
The man lube?
Lube
Lube the man? Portugal the man?
Stranded Island. What item?
Unlimited supply, one item.
Well, it would have to be.
food item.
Yeah, it'd have to be some kind of
Yeah,
food.
you can have unlimited blueberries or bananas.
Man, you are gonna shit your brains out.
Keep in mind, it's a
Mangoes.
tropical island.
Papaya.
We're a post podcast. You can curse if you
We
want.
Banana.
don't know if there's any damn water. You said I could cuss.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're after show. You can curse all you want.
I
It's
could
fine.
cuss.
You can cuss too. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. Says he'd take pizza.
Who would? You would?
No, him.
That guy?
Aloe Wolf. Oh, hi, Aloe Wolf. I'm sorry I didn't see you. He says Pop Tarts.
You know-
Autumnal Blake
churros.
picks churros.
You know what I?
Yo,
you know what I bring?
combos.
Hope.
Cinnamon.
Oh, excuse me. What did you just
That's
say?
deep. Combos.
Try again.
Combos.
Combinations.
Danielle only calls it that because of you now. Every time she gets mad at me, fake mad, but she gets mad if I say combo. She's like, "Excuse me, that's
Combinations.
That's not right. Combinations." She's like, "When we go to North Carolina, we gotta stock up on combinations for the car ride."
Those were
Yeah.
a hot item in the Kirby household 25 years ago, and one time, on several occasions, we would eat each other's said combos, and it took a while for a truce to be hammered out, but we got there.
If I could eat combos,
You're not
combinations every
Trying
day.
to escape the island. You've chosen to go to this island. You can bring with you one
So I
item.
can leave when I want.
Nice.
I thought I was stuck
I
there
don't
because
know.
if I can leave when I want,
It's
then I'm
more
changing
like-
my
it's-
answer.
I don't know if it's
I'd
a
like
game or a simulator.
Unlimited motorboats.
Like,
Well,
Yeah,
like
Why
the
don't you-
boobs.
with a hefty woman in tow.
Oh,
Ladies, please.
what other kind of motorboat is there?
I was just making sure. Just making sure I heard you correctly.
so your answer was hope still?
Hope.
And yours was condoms? Is that right?
Dale picks
No,
whiskey.
combinations.
Combination.
If I could eat combinations every day,
Oh my God, Autumnal
not
Blake
have
might
horrible
not
health
know what we're talking
complications?
about because he goes, "What food is a combo?" You're an Australian. Do they not have?
Oh, sorry, Dunkaroos.
boy. What's your address? We will airdrop. Ship
Sorry,
them
Dunkaroos.
immediately.
Autumnal Blake, did they have Dunkaroos in Australia? I seriously
this
want
is
to know.
a great question.
I seriously want to know. We got 6 minutes for this answer.
What is
Come on, Autumnal Blue.
Why is Dunkaroo? Autumnal Blake says not a thing here, but I think he's talking about combos.
Are you talking about combos or Dunkaroos?
Yeah, as far as I can tell from there. And he says
Okay.
not that I know of. Dunkaroos.
combos they started as just pretzels and cheddar cheese. It was like it was a circular pretzel, hollow in the middle,
Nah, I
with
think-
cheddar cheese stuck in the middle. Oh no, it was crackers.
yeah,
it was
I don't think they
crackers.
I was going to
started
ask if the
pretzels.
You're right.
crackers
I think the
came-
pretzels
and they
are
were
upgraded.
baked. They were baked in, and honestly, they're
Delicious.
so delicious. But if you look at a serving size and the number of calories,
You don't.
it
No.
is insane.
When
Like Pop Tarts were ruined for me when I looked at the nutrition facts.
I don't know this. Is one Pop-Tart, one serving?
What's a circular
I
pretzel?
don't know.
It's a combo.
It's kind of a circular pretzel. It's shaped like a pipe.
Like a barrel, like a little barrel.
Yeah, shaped like a
So
short
just eat you
Do a
Dunkaroo.
barrel.
a short cracker pipe.
Tass is,
I have not heard of Dunkaroos.
Tass is in the UK and he says he's never heard of it either. Man.
Dang.
Who makes them?
Yo,
Autumnal Blake says, "What the fuck is a circular pretzel?"
Like a pipe.
It's a-
Autumnal Blake, let
it's
me
shaped like a pipe.
apologize on behalf of America for what we've done to your people because we've made up all kinds of horrible food-related things around you, like Dunkaroos and the blooming onion and
we all
just
want
Outback Steakhouse in general.
It's like
I don't even think
A socket
is
set.
Australian. I think he's an American putting
So
on.
I was gonna say it's a very like stereotypical
yes
accent,
That's why I think
yeah.
it's an American dude. 'cause no Aussie
somebody
would be
clearly
like,
overdoing
no, Aussie
it.
was
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing
Yeah, right.
that'd be like if we
We
made
need
a
to-
cracker made out of deer and we dunked it in traffic.
we need an
Delicious.
We need an Australian.
So no one would buy that here.
Joe says, "What the fuck is a blooming onion?" Yeah, this is what we do
Yeah.
here. Has anyone here ever had a blooming onion?
Yep.
And
I've been to Outback.
I mean, they're
It's
delicious.
fried. It's fried.
I haven't. I don't
You've
even.
never had one?
I've never been to Outback.
You've never been to Outback?
Where's the
I
closest
don't know where to
Outback?
start with this.
22
I don't know.
Greenbrook.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go right now.
They're
Outback
delicious.
Fridays.
They're good.
I want to get to the island thing. We have-
Well, feel free to answer. This is your show, sir.
We have 5 minutes left. Well, I need to know if I'm able to leave when I want, or if, like, is this just for fun, or am I stuck there?
You're going to be there for 7 years.
Oh, well, then it's going to be a food item.
What is it?
Watermelon's not a bad answer.
Who said that?
Somebody in chat said watermelon.
It's not the worst answer.
Because
I had a
Water.
waitress the other day. She said the internet. And I said, you dumb.
you're going to die, yeah.
Yeah.
A major portion of your day is going to be
Yeah.
finding food.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want to eat watermelon all the time. I'm sure I would find other stuff to eat, but
I
knowing
just
I have the watermelon
I
as a
don't
backup.
think she understands that the internet doesn't mean it comes with devices
Yeah,
and
right.
plugs and batteries. and
Autumnal
all.
Blake says hydromelons, which are from Breath of the Wild, which is basically their watermelon.
It's an Australian thing.
Hi, Tim Richard. What? No, I said it's Breath of the Wild. Zelda.
Okay.
Hydromelon. Coconuts. Yeah, Dale. I think there'll be coconuts there, most likely.
I got a little background on
It's not a chocolate
combos,
Dunkaroos?
on combinations.
Please.
So invented in the mid 70s by the then Anheuser-Busch snack division company called
Really?
Eagle Snacks.
Mm.
Eagle Snack went under in 1996 and is now distributed by Mars.
Wow. I
Yeah.
did not know.
I had
any of
Eagle
that.
Snacks in line for the brewery tour.
Yeah. Yeah. Were they like dried eagle talons fried?
You
Really?
know,
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Got my
It's,
answer.
how do you get more
Yes.
American than that?
Can it be a brand?
Yeah, man.
Tasty Cakes.
No, it can't be
I
a
need to
brand.
know what-
Yeah, it has to be a specific.
One.
That's why I asked if it could be a brand.
Sorry,
Yes, I want to know
No.
one.
I was just helping you along.
Butterscotch cream.
Oh.
My
Je-
dad loves them. That's my dad's
I'd
go-to.
say
But there's
TV
no
crimpets.
carpet to rub it on.
No,
or a paper
I would-
bag.
I would
You have
pick
to use
the.
a palm leaf.
I would pick
What?
the.
You know another trick?
Rub
Rub
it on
it
the
so that it doesn't stick to the, especially in a tropical setting.
I'd pick the
Static.
Tandy cakes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, they're good. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she
yes!
makes the best candy cakes
No
ever.
lie, that it was better than theirs.
Oh, yeah.
but it was ridiculously close to theirs
Fresh.
too. She's got those had a thicker layer of chocolate,
Maybe
which I
a thin
appreciate.
layer of
But
banana.
it had that like crack to it.
crap.
Oh,
I mean, the crisp.
yeah,
the
like
crack.
when you bite into those things, it's like
Yeah.
it
Real
had them.
crack.
Those seriously, I was really impressed with those. They were good. We have a Facebook page on GoNintendo, if that's what you're asking, Autumnal Blake. But it's just like the news and stuff. Nothing fancy over there. Yeah, I meant to talk to you about those. I didn't get a chance, but they were good. They were really good.
I'll pass along the compliment.
That's my go-to tasty cake. Like that, they make a lot of good stuff, I think. But that's the
You
one.
like the
I
chocolate ones though, with the cream filled?
Oh no.
Not the peanut.
I mean, I don't dislike them, but
Yeah,
if I'm
I
going to
do
get
like the
tasty
peanut butter
cake,
better,
I'm going
yeah.
for the peanut butter
Yeah.
one. Yeah. But tasty cake has a lot of good stuff in general. I'm
The
trying to
banana candies. Are you talking
Runts
about
or- oh no,
circus peanuts?
no. What?
Oh, from the
No,
25-cent. Okay, all right.
Oh, banana candies?
Banana candies. You got those banana candies in your pocket?
Yeah,
You got a
they're-
pocket full of banana candies, do you, mister?
I've seen the 25-cent machines, the capsule machines that have just the banana candies in them. Yeah, but I know people go crazy for the banana runts in
Wait,
particular.
there's a banana candy inside a capsule? Like one of those
Like a
hard things that-
capsule machine.
Like a
Yeah.
time capsule.
Oh.
I'm a little Dunkaroos history.
I'm
Oh, hit
very-
us up.
You got
there,
2 minutes
type
to do it.
G.
So, first sold in 1990 in the U.S. Betty Crocker made it. Discontinued in the U.S. in 2012, but continued to be sold in Canada. 2016, General Mills announced a campaign called Smuggleroos, which encouraged Canadians traveling to the United States to bring the snack to Americans who wanted it. Dunkaroos continued being sold in Canada until January 2018. General Mills has yet to comment on the Canadian discontinuation.
I have a
Smuggleroos
funny
is awesome.
I have a funny food related thing about discontinued food related to the podcast. One of my favorite desserts was I think Breyers made it. It was Viennetta.
Okay.
It was like an ice cream. It was kind of like an ice cream log, but
Long-
it had
long
like
black
tasty
hair.
cake, like crackly chocolate inside of it. It was delicious. It was so good, and they stopped selling it here. but they still sell it in Canada. And I got really angry about it on the podcast one day. And the guy who, Crazy Colonel, the guy who draws the podcast pictures, I don't know how we got into also talking about Velveeta, but he drew a stripper because he thought the name we thought the name Vianetta Velveeta sounded like a stripper's name. So he drew a horrifying stripper whose body is made out of Velveeta cheese and her face is the ice cream log.
Oh my
It's
God.
amazing. It's the most. He's like, people are
Vianetta
not going to want to
Velveeta.
listen to your podcast. And I was like, I don't care. This is the greatest picture I've ever seen. I put it on Twitter and people are like, what the fuck? Somebody was like, I don't want this on my timeline. What?
That's great.
Greatest thing I've ever seen. Greatest thing I've ever
Oh,
seen.
shit.
I want to know what they're gonna draw up for this one.
No, Autumnal Blake, not Belvita. It's Velveeta.
Yeah, it's so smooth.
Velveeta
It's like
are
velvet.
the
But it's also not cheese.
those fake cookies that are supposed to be quote unquote good for you.
Oh yeah, breakfast cookies.
Yeah.
That's really what they are.
Can you sum up America in 2 words? Yes, I can. Breakfast cookie. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Pork roll.
Oh man, that's
Oh my
great.
God, you're right.
Yes, Autumnal
They're
Blake.
breakfast cookies.
You're right. Gross plastic cheese. Yes. No, not Vegeta from Dragon Ball, Matt.
And not Bayonetta.
Autumnal Blake says they're biscuits, not cookies, but you guys call them biscuits.
Oh my
We call
God.
them cookies.
winter, not summer.
That makes. I don't. Autumnal Blake says, "Wow, America." All right, the show is done exporting. That means the live show's over. Guys at the table, thank you. This has been a fantastic podcast. Guys watching live, thank you for watching live. I really appreciate it. Another shout out to the Patreon members. I really appreciate your support. Send me $1 billion for what was I gonna do?
Bunch of bananas.
Bunch of
Oh no, you're gonna release Super Monkey Ball early.
That's it.
I
That's it.
don't know.
Yep, sure. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
We'll see y'all.
Goodbye, everybody.
We'll see y'all.